Monday, May 9th. The way we talk Cleveland sports will never be the same. This show is so groundbreaking, we had to create this over-the-top movie trailer just to tell you about it. The biggest names in Cleveland sports. 2 hours. Unscripted. Unhinged. Booyah! With 2 men and a lot of bull. So kick up your feet, open a 6-pack, and strap in for a f***ing great time. Ultimate Cleveland sports show. 2 men, 1 bull, and lots of tears. Streaming May 9th, 11 to 1 on YouTube.
Steve, that's how it all started. This is what the hell it looks like now. Here you are.
Wow, man.
What a bunch of schlubs over here. Happy anniversary, everybody.
That's right.
Yes,
That's right.
indeed.
That's right.
I thought I was going to stop by blowers on my way in, and the kind.
Okay.
What? Look,
right.
see, I did like this. What?
That empty chair will eventually be Jay. Of course, Brad is here. Jason is here. G. Bush is here. We're going to have an appearance by Mike Polk a little bit later. Steve Becker, our executive producer, flew into town to grace us with his presence. We've got Mike, who is up for an Emmy. Mike Lucas, our producer. Let's hear it.
Wow.
Thank you.
Along with the great team behind the scenes, Steve and Earl and even Anthony. He's all right, too. We're glad to have Anthony back this week. Mike, what's going on? Happy anniversary.
Thank you. It has been a long time coming. We're going to get into everything we've gone through the last year. We have 13 awards to give away. We have some never-before-seen rehearsal footage. And our guest presenters, are all of our favorite guys and girls who have been on the show throughout the year. So a lot of familiar faces, a lot of stuff to get to. So with that, Bo, let's get to your bet of the day. You are on fire, and today's bet goes back to the baseball well. And you, as always, are using Bet Rivers Sportsbook. Bet Rivers is the place to be for every game all the action all the time, because when you use deposit code SPORTS, you receive a second chance bet up to $500. Get in on all the action with weekly specials on your favorite sports like basketball and hockey to help you win big. Check them out at BetRivers.com. Download the BetRivers app today for the latest lines, odds, and boosts. Bull, what you going with today?
And check out my latest podcast on BetRivers, The Bull in Cleveland, where I give a big breakdown on the Cleveland Guardians. All right, let's get to it because we got so much we want to get to today. Went 2-0 yesterday. I hit with the Diamondbacks and the Rays, both had to win by 2. They both won by 3. Tonight, I didn't like any of the games in terms of the winner loser. It was the first time all season. So I'm going with the over in the Dodgers-Brewers game in Milwaukee. Milwaukee's been great at home. Both these teams' offenses are on fire. I don't love either pitcher in this game. I expect this to be a high-scoring game. I think we're going to see 14, 15 runs in this game, like an 8-7 game, something really crazy, high-scoring. 10 runs or more. Book it. Dodgers-Brewers, the BetRivers bet of the day. Guys, it's an exciting day to be here. In just a few minutes, we're going to play some never before seen footage of rehearsal. I assume our first couple of rehearsals, it was me, G, Jay, and Brad.
And Steve Becker.
And Steve was in the mix too, right. And this was the week before we went on the air. Of course, it was May 9th, 2022 that we debuted the show. I spoke to a couple of people over the last 24 hours. We're like, there's Steve. We're like, really? It's been a year already? It has flown by, guys.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, right? Brad, your thoughts?
Well, it's the way it all came together was kind of wild, right?
Yeah.
We all got picked out, plucked out of different things, and then for us to come together and do the things we've done in a year, it's been great. It's been totally Cleveland. It has been honest opinions, honest takes, and I don't think you can get it anywhere else. It's been a great run. It's been a great run with you guys.
It's been great. It's been unique. Jason?
I wasn't here for the start.
Yeah, you weren't.
I was a late ad. I came
Yeah.
on, I think, June or whatever, so I missed out on all the fun rehearsals and everything. But it's unique for me because I was part of a startup at The Athletic, and I had everyone telling me, this is never going to last. What are you doing?
Yeah.
And, you know, when this show started, there was talking, oh, what are they doing over there? Is this really going to work or not? Yeah, it is going to work. And it's been a lot of fun. I enjoy doing this. And 1 year down and many, many more to come.
That's right. Gee.
Man,
You've
listen.
done more shows than anybody else.
Yeah, like I'm the Cal Ripken of this thing. You know, feels good. No, actually, it's dope because this is like kind of my first real heels into like doing something on a consistent basis in the industry. So, you know, I heard a lot of people say, I quit my job. You know, I went home and told my wife, hey, listen, about that health insurance thing, that's overrated. Don't get sick in the next couple weeks. and a year later, she still hasn't got sick, and we still here.
She has her own health insurance.
Yeah, no, I'm good. I just sneak up her. Listen, under Mary. This is under Mary. They're like, okay, cool. But no, like this is, you know, they talk about it in the intro how groundbreaking everything is. But really, like as people in the industry talk about it, everybody says, hey, you guys talk about stuff that nobody else talks about. So they were right about one thing. I think you start to see more shows like this on the internet pop up over here, different places. Hey, it's all about you know, being the inventors of something, not imitating something. So we brought it to the forefront. So we super excited.
Ever since we've been on, radio stations have been locally have been doing more video podcasts.
Mm-hmm.
That nobody was doing that before. Now they are. So we're seeing a lot more. We've started a trend. And I think a big part of that is the chemistry that we all have together. We generally like working. Not generally.
Generally.
That was not the word I was
Genuinely.
looking for. Genuinely.
But
Yeah,
generally fits too.
speaking.
Generally and genuinely like working together. Everybody gets along here. We chat and bust each other's balls off the air just like we do on the air. Actually, more viciously off the air because there's things we can't talk about. What's that?
Much more vicious.
Yeah, much more viciously off the air. And also, while for me, this is only 1 year of television after 20-something years of radio, but what I do know about TV, because I've heard it from guys like Steve, our director, who's been in TV for a long time. I've heard it from Jay, who's obviously been in TV for a long time, and Jay will be here. Unfortunately, weird timing with his other gig on WKYC. He had to miss a little time on today's show, but he will be here. That this chemistry that we have, not just the guys on here, because we all do have great chemistry with each other no matter who's on the show, but also the chemistry between the guys who are on the panel and the guys who are behind the scenes. Earl, Anthony, we bust their balls just as much. Steve, we bust his balls. Mike, the most. But we all love each other. We when we do socialize as a group, we all socialize. It's not behind the scenes and in front of the scenes. There's none of that. These guys are on TV quite a bit. We always show them a little bit. There's Steve, our director. You know, he's a man of little words, but he's great. And everybody loves everybody, and I think that's what's made this so special. But we love our contributors too, who you'll hear from Aditi today, you'll hear from DeQuell today, you'll hear from Tim Couch, you'll hear from Leroy Horde.
All of them.
Okay, everybody.
More, trust me.
But this doesn't work without you folks. We appreciate the loyalty and support that you have shown following us from our other areas, as Brad said, to here. And the fact that you've so loyally watched this show, that our numbers, you know, in radio, they give you ratings. The ratings are all bullshit. Let me tell you the truth. That's the truth about radio. The ratings are bullshit. They're complete crap. They're guesses. They're basing ratings based on like 15 people. That's what they're doing. I'm not joking. Okay? But here, we know exactly how many people are watching, when you're watching, for how long you're watching. It's no guess. And you've come around, you've come through for us, you've come around with us. We love you in the chat. Even when I scream and yell at you and call you an idiot, I still love you. Because I'm an idiot too. We're all idiots, for crying out loud. So we really appreciate that you have made us
pretty smart.
A part of your daily routine. Thank you so much. Now, Mike, we have to get to this never-before-seen footage. Not even seen by us, I don't think.
I don't think I've seen it.
I know G hasn't. Jason, you definitely
I wouldn't
haven't.
even hear
Brad,
it.
Oh, you know
part
I
of this. This never-before-seen rehearsal week footage is brought to us by Lorain Community College. Your classes, your future. Register now for summer and fall classes. You can learn more at loraineccc.edu. Little preview of what you're going to get here. These are all the terrible lighting decisions we thought we could do. Some audio
awful.
issues, the worst graphics you've ever seen. This is before we got our graphics package, before Anthony developed his incredible skill set. This is what we were making on a super basic level. We had never done a full show, and this ends with the very first final take in show history, courtesy of Bull, and I promise you it's worth it. Steve, let's hit it.
Oh, wow.
Terrible.
It gets worse.
I don't want to talk about the graphics.
Hello, good morning, and welcome to the future of sports media in Cleveland, Ohio. The name of the show is the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show. You're going to get very familiar with that music. If you're a regular viewer, it's our theme song. You're going to hear it each and every day, and I'm going to go quickly around the table to introduce who you're going to be seeing.
It's obviously, given the fact that I've given you why you need to run from people and the weather in Cleveland, you got to go with no shirt.
I'm ready to make my ruling.
Objection.
Somebody wants to add one more thing.
Objection.
Well,
That was too educated for this conversation.
We've seen kicker after kicker come and go.
Those graphics
We've
are
seen
awful.
games decided time and time and time
We were
again
obsessed
by
with
missed
orange
extra points.
early.
We've lost games because we missed extra points.
If you initiate divorce, right?
Yeah.
And you initiate divorce for your mistress, and it's public. If your mistress drops you, you think your wife is going to sign back up and say,
Oh,
you know
that's
what?
the list of wives that have done that
But guess what?
are
But-
long and distinguished.
But everybody's wife wasn't no number one pick. That's the pageant queen.
Yeah, but
Baker
G. Bush.
Baker Mayfield. No, you can just Baker Mayfield ego will never let him step back into that building.
They're currently in the middle of 6 straight series that have been decided by sweeps. They've been swept 3 times, and they have
The worst graphic in
swept
the history
3
of
teams.
But Jay, look
There
at the
you see
teams. And this is really important.
I'm a big
I've been
fan.
going about this, you know, in this
Yeah, he's
country
going.
for years.
I like
had a
that color,
major
though.
Divide.
Where'd that color come from,
It's
though?
pulled the
You
country
match
apart,
the
but I'm
backdrop,
here to bring it
Bull.
back
Listen
together
to this,
because I
I
have the
promise you.
answer.
Listen.
It's dog people versus cat people. Here's the reality. I'm a dog person. All right, cat people are weird. You find people, right? You say a cat lady, right? That's a negative connotation right there. There is no dog lady. If there is a dog lady, it's a positive thing. She's like, she's the dog lady. She's got that awesome dog. We pet them. We eat ice cream with them. I don't know what we do. Cats are weird. Cats are like Stewie from Family Guy. They're evil. They're up to schemes. You know what? The dog is like your cousin's stupid kid, but he's stupid, but he's fun, right? He's doing a lot of goofy and silly things. He's like, well, I can play all kinds of games with him. And that's why, okay, sometimes you dress up your dog, and those people are a little weird. And I'm not going to lie, I put my dog Crash Crash Davis in a football jersey one time. That was a little odd. Weird. But it is weird. I'll give you that. But generally, dogs make you more sociable. With a dog, you see, some people go, well, I got to take my dog for a walk. The cat just poops in the bucket. I don't want a poop bucket in my house.
Where are we?
All right, there you go. That is some never-before-seen behind-the-scenes footage with awful colors and awful graphics. And Jay is here now.
What's up, Jay?
Sitting in an
Sorry,
unusual
guys.
seat.
I like this chair.
You can have it, Dave.
So this is the chair everybody complains about, but this actually is very
Clean up.
comfortable. Yeah, we got a spill out
We had a
here.
Joe Charbonneau moment.
I didn't break anything. Brad's 9 feet tall with
I'm
elbows.
always next to the person spilling something,
Yeah.
right?
Jay, we already gave some thoughts on the anniversary. Well, we gave our thoughts on the anniversary, and then we played the behind the scenes of our practice week footage with the terrible background, the awful colors, the awful graphics.
Yeah, the good old days.
We haven't had your thoughts, of course, on the anniversary.
I'm glad we progressed.
Yeah.
Because I haven't looked at any of those old shows, so I don't really know how
This was
bad
even
they
before
look.
the first show. It was like, remember we
rehearsal
did the
week.
practice runs?
And none of this was in here, right? It was just
Well,
the plain
no, it
background.
was in here, but the background was like a weird orange color. We all looked funny.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, it was awful. I'm glad we've progressed.
Yeah.
All I remember about the early shows was our audio was so bad.
It was terrible.
I think everybody was saying the audio is awful. We can't hear it, or it's over-modulated, or whatever.
Yeah.
We've progressed from that, so thank goodness for that. And I apologize for being late. I've got a million things going on upstairs at Channel 3, and it's Mother's Day week. I had a shoot that I had to redo today from yesterday. But
We get it.
we're here.
Your thoughts a year in?
We made it.
Yeah.
We made it. I don't know that there were many that thought we would make it a year, just because it was, we're Star Trek. We're going to the last great frontier in media. Right. And no one had done that in Cleveland. Obviously, a lot of folks are doing that on a national scale.
Right.
Yeah.
But no one has really done that here in Cleveland. And it's been done in other markets, obviously, and with some success. But so we were jumping off a cliff, and we didn't know if there was water or rocks below us. And we've kind of figured it out as we've gone, and there's been some bumps in the road for sure.
Them come to Jesus conversations at the end of the day. We'd be here after McNuggets talk. We'd be like, listen, we don't. I don't know.
You know what we
Yeah, that was a rough show, man.
You know what we picked up, though, Jay? We picked up a lot of people that love the show, right? And we've
got a nice traction.
I can tell you the number of times I've gone to the grocery store and people just stop me like, we love y'all on that show, right? Because they feel like, and I ask them in the gym, they tell you why. They're like, because you give honest takes about what's really happening here. You talk about the things that don't get talked about here.
We try.
Right? And then you think about this. Remember all the people in town like, oh, that ain't gonna make it. I don't even know what you're doing that for. That ain't gonna do nothing, right? And then the next year they're like, it's still going.
Yeah. You are wrong.
It's going.
And, I think to me, the biggest surprise of the show, Bull, is the fact that, and I don't know if the numbers still bear this out, people that study these things and tell me if I'm right or wrong, but I know in the early months, the thing that most surprised me was more than half of our viewers are from outside the state of Ohio.
Right.
And I know that we get inundated with email from outside of our market from people that saying, I can't tell you how comforting it is to have voices that we recognize. And even if they're not diligently listening to every word we say, it's just background noise and it's Cleveland sports talk. And as someone who's lived more than half of his life outside of Cleveland, and if for anybody that has, you understand what I'm talking about. When you're away in Tampa, Florida, or New York City, and you see a Buckeye sweatshirt,
Chicago, right.
You yell across Fifth Avenue OH, and they yell back IO, and everybody else in Manhattan thinks, what is that?
Yeah, what is that?
So we speak the common language, and I think it's really cool that whether you're in Nashville or San Diego or Australia or England, if you want to follow the Cleveland Browns, and you don't necessarily have time to sit down and read Jason's pieces or anything else.
Make time.
Well, first of all, make time for that.
In addition,
I pay his monthly subscription.
I'm a subscriber, right?
I pay his fee.
What's nice is if you don't have time to do that and you just want to catch up by watching the show, and even if you're not free from 11 to 1 or whatever hours it airs where you are, you can watch us whenever. And that's what's revolutionary.
And even the clips in the short, and something we didn't really plan, I think it's worked out. the commercials really are just part of the show. We give you uninterrupted content for 2 hours, and nobody else is doing that.
Fact.
Nobody else.
Yeah, we slide our commercials in.
Yes.
Almost as part of the show.
There's no 10-minute breaks like you get in radio. Mikey, let's get to our. So part of today's thing is we're giving year in review awards.
How many?
13.
13
wow.
awards.
We have 13 awards. I don't even remember what half of them are, but Mikey and his crew are on top of all of it. Let's get it started, Mike.
So we're going to give out our first two, then we'll get into a little quick Browns logo talk. Our first two awards, we're going to play them back-to-back. The Best Athlete of the Year award in Cleveland and the Best UCSS Rivalry of the Year. Okay. Play them back-to-back.
Is there even a second?
I don't think there's a debate on that one. No.
And now for the next UCSS Award, Athlete of the Year. The nominees are
Director Steve.
Nick Chubb, Donovan Mitchell, Jose Ramirez.
Who voted? Did he do YouTube polls for all these?
I don't see Tyvis Powell on here, so I guess no nomination this year, Tyvis. All right, and the award goes to Jose Ramirez.
Hey!
I have a saying that I live by. Iron sharpens iron. Competition brings the best out of everybody. And we all have grown up with that annoying little brother that we like to beat every once in a while. Your 2023 Rivalry of the Year nominees are Bull versus Jay, Production versus V-Mix, and last but not least, Brad versus Modern Day Basketball.
And the winner of the 2023 Rivalry of the Year goes to, drum roll please,
Bull, if you and I don't win,
versus
I'm
Jay.
And I just want to give a huge shout out to the UCSS fam. Also, a congratulations to you guys on your year anniversary. This field is tough, and for you guys to make it a year, man, that's amazing.
We appreciate that.
Yeah, shout out to Boogie.
That rivalry was no doubt.
If we didn't win, I would have been pissed.
It would have been heavily.
Classics.
Yo.
We would have against you versus
I can't touch that. This thing here was. We sit there. We be like, ooh.
That would have been a true slight. Unlike C.J. Stroud, who's whining about being slighted that Ohio State was still recruiting quarterbacks while he was there.
Yeah,
that would have been a real slight.
That would have been. I would have been mad.
And we got, obviously Jay and I haven't been on together very often lately. But don't worry, that's coming again more often.
Football season kicks off in August. So
right.
And I just want to say before we move on, and Anthony can switch to Lincoln.
Steve was good in his award too. That was good.
Steve killed it. Everyone gave one out. Over 800 fan responses to this.
Oh wow!
Over 800.
Nice.
That was our second most landslide vote.
Hey.
I'll tell you what the most landslide is later.
Did Steve? Did you think of the Tyvis Powell isn't on this, or did someone feed that line to you?
Nope, that was totally Steve.
That's really well done.
Director
Steve. He's wickedly quietly funny.
Yes.
Them Baker Mayfield, the Jay versus Bull. I don't know.
Early days.
The early ones, the Baker Mayfield, the kicker getting drafted. We argue about kickers.
Yeah.
And the favorite one is Nick Chubb getting the ball.
I'm going to throw a chair.
By the way, I'll throw this out there. The Browns should sign the punt god today.
We will sign
him today.
We will talk about the.
He's
punt guy
vindicated. Sign him.
The Browns talk
Someone
today
better.
though, is brought to
We've
us,
already
as
taken the
always,
smoke for it.
That's
for
right.
Deshaun Watson.
There you go.
By
Bring
Lincoln
it.
Electric, now hiring for a great job there. The experts in the electrical manufacturing and welding field. Check them out today. We love our good friends at Lincoln Electric. Yesterday, guys, the Browns announced their 5 finalists. You can take tag board for the fan-submitted dog logo. Thoughts on the 5? Do you have a favorite? G-Book?
Yes.
Anybody?
Yes. The one that really counts, man. Shout out to the one in the bottom right-hand corner.
That's it. Yeah, I like that one too.
That's it.
To me,
He
looks
looks
like
old
the
and
Predator.
sleepy.
Hey, but no.
That
dog.
That's some cat mess.
No,
Stop
no,
playing.
listen.
Right?
Grizzly veteran dog.
Brad, please don't tell me like the one in the middle.
Nope.
Which one you
No,
like?
listen.
I like top left.
Listen,
That's my number 2.
The one in the middle has the coolest feature. Do you see the hidden CLE in his neck fold?
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Now all of a sudden the middle one's kind of fire, isn't it?
That's kind
I
I did not
Go
notice
back to
that.
my man, top left. Go top left, Mikey. That's the one. That's the replica. You T-shirts, helmet. You could do a bunch of things with this thing. The other things we can't do
I'm
nothing
trying to
with.
think. G. Bush, remember I told you last week I wore the sweatshirt?
Yeah.
Is that the one?
Which one is the one?
Top
I
left.
think that's it.
It looks like that's the one.
What are the fans leaning towards at this point? Do we know?
I know what the fans are leaning towards.
The bottom right.
This panda right here, bro.
The Cleveland Pandas.
That's what that means. You can't have that. That's copywritten. Go ahead, McNuggets.
I think just from the consensus and
shameless
surveying
plugs.
Twitter, it seems like, and take tag, we're full here, Steve. Top left, bottom right are the
They're
two
the-
favorites.
Listen,
So,
I think top left is the one that the guy sent me the sweatshirt for.
think
I think that is too.
And I kind of like that.
I think they're all okay.
That one is the elder statesman.
it ain't
that
even-
one,
You
that
walk
one
in-
was on the
You
shield.
walk into that dog's house, you're not walking out.
That dog ain't playing
that's
with you.
scary.
You don't even see his eyes.
kind of the Lion King of
That's
dogs.
scare
isn't it?
kids. Put the other one back up. That's scare kids. Put the
Yeah,
other one
because
back
it looks
up.
like the Predator.
We do want it
Well,
scary.
they also
doesn't it
have
look like Darth Vader.
they also have a freaking elf on the field. So can we have something that looks somewhat terrifying?
I like
Go
this.
back there. Go back
the
to my
elf is
dog.
lame.
No,
It's
so
that
stupid.
looks like a cartoon.
Yeah, that's bad.
That's
That
the worst
better
one.
not win. If that wins, I've got to find
that
a
one
team.
right there.
I wouldn't mind that. I wouldn't
That
hate
one's
on that.
all right.
I would. Let's take the look at it. There's one nobody has mentioned. Where's the one nobody mentioned so far? There's.
That's the last one I got you.
No.
That's a cartoon, man.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
So don't put it take one full again, guys.
just everybody a producer
So
now.
the top right sucks and the bottom left sucks, right? That's what we agree on.
Yes.
Top right, bottom
So it's
left.
tic-tac-toe.
So it's diagonally from the upper left corner to the bottom right corner.
I would-
Those are our choices.
I
I'm
wouldn't be
kind of
mad.
growing with Jay on the middle one because I like the CLE.
It's
in
kind of
there.
cool,
It
isn't it?
is.
that it's kind of hidden.
I don't know about the teeth in the back. If they would have showed 2 or 3, he got the whole grill out.
Too much teeth.
Too much teeth.
So do we know what they're going to do with this thing?
They're going to mix the winner of the fan vote with some professionally submitted designs.
Oh, so you don't even get the regular design. Oh, they smart.
Well, they're going to let us. I don't know. I shouldn't say that. There's a fan contest.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they have hired a commercial artist as well to submit their own.
And then when
They'll
they
morph
come up
them?
with one,
I don't know.
what happens with it?
I think they're going to throw all 20 of them in a blender and see what comes out.
Yeah.
as long as
I mean, the bottom line is they should get rid of the elf.
The elf is
take
awful.
the elf off
It's
the
awful.
field.
Yeah.
It makes the team look soft having an elf out there.
I
And
like
it didn't
the,
work last year,
No.
clearly.
I like the elf on gear. I don't know how I feel about it on the field, but I like.
I agree. I think the elf is an alternative on some
Yeah.
T-shirts or whatever is fine, but
Not on the field.
having a badass dog would be better.
Yeah.
Yeah, do we need a logo for the dog pound? I think Mikey asked that question
So I
in the
think
rundown.
to my
Does the dog pound
understanding,
need their own logo?
well, to my understanding, I thought this was going to be the Dog Pound logo.
Oh, maybe it is. Well,
don't
here's
know.
the thing. I think the Browns, as an organization, since Jimmy Haslam has been here, have ruined what the dog pound means. Because the dog pound meant specifically that one part of the field.
I don't blame Haslam for that. I think the new stadium did that.
It is.
Well,
It's the design of the new
but
stadium.
ever since the Browns have been here, they now refer to like all the fans as the dog pound.
yeah,
which
that
is
was a
not
mistake,
really-
but that was a mistake from the beginning.
Yeah.
Dog Pound was supposed to be for the low budget, hardcore.
The guys
fan.
that welded
That-
6 days a week.
that's-
No.
That's what the
Our
that's
guys
what the
that
dog-
enjoy throwing
that's what
batteries
the
at John
Dog
Elway.
Pound was.
Exactly. I was there that day.
When you watch the old school dog pound, them dudes look like they just came from a shift.
Right.
Like
Right,
they
right.
and then they was gonna get drunk.
Some
and
of them
then-
still had their welder masks
Yes,
on.
and then go back to work, like to get that extra hours,
Right,
a
right,
couple
right.
hours in.
They
overtime.
punched out for lunch 3 hours.
Yeah.
And then they're going to work till midnight to make up for it.
Yeah, see,
And it had a gritty feel to
And
it,
it
and now it,
has to.
Now
it
it
doesn't.
And
And
then
the
people-
section of the old
then-
stadium
then people-
was set apart. It
Yeah.
was
Yeah,
its
right.
own-
It was
But then
different.
people
Yes.
start buying tickets because they wanted to be a part of that section, right? I'm gonna sit in the pound.
Sure.
That's when Hanford started making it live.
Well, that was the place to sit.
Start
And,
electrifying
then
it.
it's not as cool anymore.
Now
Now you got random.
Well, you know
people there.
why?
Yeah.
In sports and in life,
Watered it down.
when things happen organically,
Yeah.
they take on a life of their own. When you try to wave a magic wand and say, now this is going to be the new dog pound, no,
Right,
it's not.
right.
Well,
No, it's not.
It's kind of like the bleachers at Wrigley Field. Like it was really cool, and now every preppy douchebag is sitting there. You know,
like the dog check thing was. It's third down.
What?
Hey, they be on third down. Every time the third down come around, everybody stand up. It's third down. Pass over the right for 6 yards, 1st and 10.
Yeah,
It's third down. Scramble over the left-hand side.
3rd and 19,
14
draw
yards.
for 20. You've seen it.
So we seen it.
You've
I'm
seen
like,
it.
stop saying that. They killing us.
I want you guys at some point here. You start talking about this third down. Remind me of something. The coolest thing. I'm off key here, but the coolest thing I've ever seen in sports. Go to a Michigan State football game, and whenever they get a first down, they've got the whole stadium has a chant. Right? I'm not gonna ruin it for you, but
Yeah, no, don't.
It's unbelievable, and I'm like. everybody in here is saying that.
Yeah,
And I
y'all,
was like,
y'all getting that off?
even the kids.
College sports.
I like
even the kids,
Mikey
the
look
kids
it up at
started
one
it.
point.
I'll look it up.
I like this is crazy.
All right, guys.
And that's what the pound used to be like.
Used
Just
to be.
like
Yeah.
that.
Well, guys, we still have 11 awards to get to today, and that's what we're going to spend a lot of the show on throughout the day. And we've got some of our favorite contributors that are coming on, including the great Joe Thomas. He is going to join us in just a couple of minutes, Mikey. That's correct?
As soon as he hops on, we'll bring Joe on. But while we're waiting for Joe, let's check in with our friend Robert Smith on the best game/segment of the year.
What's up, everybody? This is Robert Smith. I'm going to be giving out the award for Game of the Year. And here are the nominees.
That's it.
A, true or false.
Steve, I should be like.
B, keep, cut, or trade. C,
That's funny.
no fence riders. And the winner is B, keep, cut, or trade. That's it, everybody. Look forward to seeing you in the fall, and I apologize in advance. Leroy's probably still talking. You've been watching all of these videos, and you ran out of time because he was still yapping. He's going to be yapping in the fall. We'll see you on the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show this fall. Looking forward to it.
Thank you, Robert.
He's right, too, by the way.
He's right about
Leroy's still talking somewhere thinking we're recording him.
So long, but it's funny.
Yeah, later we'll have an award for Leroy, and of course, all these other awards were like 30 seconds.
From 12:30 to 1 o'clock is Leroy's award.
Run?
Like 4 minutes, right?
Well, Leroy's is 4 minutes long.
No,
so
what
I was gonna
time?
use it-
What
I was
time?
going to do it later in the show as a little buffer.
Good, because I have to leave at 11:40 for another.
But do we agree with that award? Because to me, No Fence Riders was definitely third. We haven't done keep, cut, trade as much.
Well, I've done that a couple times, I think.
But
it's-
true or false?
I hate true or false because I lose
love
every
true
time.
or false.
I love true or false too.
To me, I would have voted for true or false.
No,
I love keep, cut, trade.
I'm glad. I think they got it right. I know we haven't done it very often, but it's really elicited a lot of anger.
It has.
Keep, cut, trade is hard.
It is hard.
Very hard.
But true or false, we have such great ball busting during that segment.
It is good.
No, it sucks.
And
I never
Tyvis
get 'em
thinks he's
right.
won 42 of them.
Yeah,
like it's not that way,
Well,
Tyvis. But
there's nobody more fun to bust their balls than Tyvis.
You're right.
Because he thinks he's the greatest at everything.
He does.
And so it's fun to beat him up about that.
Yeah.
Yes, Mikey. What do we got?
have one more award to play here. Then we're going
Okay.
to bring on Joe. He's logging in right now.
Good.
And this next award is for the best win of the year. Steve, take it away.
Best win.
What up, everybody, man? It's Earl of Pearl from the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show here to announce the nominees for the win of the year. First up is the Cleveland Browns versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in overtime. Second is Oscar Gonzalez and the Cleveland Guardians with a walk-off win in the playoffs versus the New York Yankees. Third, Donovan Mitchell's 71-point game. And the winner is SpongeBob and the Cleveland Guardians walk-off win against the New York Yankees.
Yeah.
I thought it was the Rays.
Our fans are smart. Because that's a playoff
I was
game.
worried that they picked the Browns.
I was too. I was very worried.
But it was the Rays. Did he beat the Yankees too in a walk-off? It was the Rays home run.
Yeah, it was the Rays.
I thought it was.
ALCS,
It was Game 5 of the
walk-off
Rays,
game 3
the
against the Yankees.
17.
I think it was.
Well, he walked off. The better one was the Rays.
The home run against the Rays.
It was in 17 innings.
But that's true because it ended the series.
Yes,
Yeah.
it was a series-ending walk-off home run in the 17th inning.
Yeah.
But it's the
Like
Yankees.
we picked the wrong Oscar Gonzalez home run.
Game 3 against the Yankees. I don't
But
know.
it was against the Yankees,
Against the Yankees.
also.
It's against
Yeah, but we lost the series. Like there's no question.
That's
the
true. I
guys
got to go with these guys. I actually think I would put that second behind the
I guess we
Rays.
should have looked at the vote before. Because they kept saying, like, look at the ballot, vote, vote. I guess we should have done that.
I did send that to you guys.
Did you have time to do it? I
You know
didn't.
who-
Well, we just
answered
looked at
right
it,
away
Mike.
When I asked him a question,
Yeah.
it's our good friend Joe Thomas. Joe joins us now. He was our first guest on our third show ever.
Joe.
Fast forward a year, and the Hall of Famer
What's
is
up,
back
guys?
joining us now. What's up, Joe?
Hall of Famer now.
What's
Soon to
up,
be.
guys?
Well, we talked
Thanks
about
for
this
having me
last
on today.
time. I had Joe on my podcast recently, and I asked him that question. Like, it's always weird now. Do you say Hall of Famer or soon to be? Because he's been picked. He's
Hall
been
of Fame
selected.
elect.
Yeah,
Right. What
Hall
did
of
you
Fame
say,
elect.
Joe? What was your
Engaged.
answer? Was like you're engaged, right?
Engaged.
Yeah, you're engaged to be in the Hall of Fame. You know?
Right.
We're
Don't
not
do
quite
that.
married yet, but we're heading down the aisle very shortly.
You're
Has it
picking out
sunk
the
in
food.
yet?
It has a little bit. I think probably the moment it sunk in the most was when I spent 8 hours with my sculptor last weekend in Salt Lake City on Saturday. And when you got 8 hours with one man and you're just sitting there and he's staring at you the entire time and breaking down every little wrinkle on your face,
that's
you
crazy.
have a chance to kind of let everything sink in, and you see all the Hall of Fame busts that he's done that are up on the wall. It's like, wow, this is really going to be real here pretty soon.
Are you? So this is something that I've been wondering about, and I'm glad you brought the sculptor up. Like, you don't look like Joe Thomas Hall of Fame left tackle anymore. Is he going with fat Joe Thomas? Is he going with like superhero looking Joe Thomas?
Yeah, we're doing Fat Joe. A little bit of a blend, and my daughter heard me say that with my wife because Ben Hammond's the name of the sculptor, and he sent me a video of where he is with the sculpture, and he wanted some feedback. And my wife was like, well, this looks like you, but I don't know if it really looks like you because this kind of looks like in between Fat Joe and Skinny Joe. And my daughter says, you can't say that. That's not a nice word. And I was like, oh, okay. Football Joe and non-football Joe. So we're kind of going with a little bit of a blend. But what I didn't realize is when I was sitting with Ben, we had like 11 years of pictures of me going back to my rookie year and when I was like totally bald with no beard and like a little pudgy. And then like 5 years later, I was like really pudgy with no hair on my face and a little bit of hair on my head. And then right towards the end of my career, I had shrunk down from like 325 at my peak to like 300. And I had a beard and a lot of power alleys, receding hairline going on over here. So there was a lot of different looks that I had during my career. So we're trying to do a best of collection for the
collaborative
for the Hall of Fame.
You know, Joe. Joe, you shouldn't say engaged about the Hall of Fame because I've been engaged 3 times and never got married. So we want to make sure we want to. Well, I did get married eventually, but those 3 don't count.
4th time's the charm.
4 times the charm. I promise you, right? So and there is a couple of times I did see you. I always wonder. You always had the loosest pants I've ever seen for an offensive lineman. You had the cargo joints. Like I was like, how do I get my pants like that? I want the cargo pants like Joe got. Them is crazy.
Yeah, the guys at the Pro Bowl, they'd always try to tease me about my baggy pants, and I'm like, dude, why would you want tight pants that are restrictive? You ever seen a ninja with tight pants? No. The ninja's like the sneakiest little thing that has ever gotten around the earth. I want to be the sneakiest left tackle that's ever walked the football field. I want loose pants so I can breathe, I can move. Nothing's restricted.
Were your teammates like Bitonio, Mack, were those guys wearing inappropriately too tight pants?
Everybody's wearing inappropriately too tight pants. Not from a visual standpoint for me. I'm just thinking about like when I'm running, I'm going down the field. I'm already pretty slow by the end of my career. So the last thing I want is to lose another 10th on my 40 because I'm wearing these super tight ball huggers.
Yeah. Hey, Joe, question for you. How many other people from the University of Wisconsin are in the Hall of Fame?
So that's a good question. There's 2, I think. So Alan Amici from way back, like in the 50s. I don't think Crazy Legs is in the Hall of Fame. So I think it's Alan Amici and Mike Webster, the great center from Wisconsin, then played for the Steelers for all those years.
I know
so there's
small
2 guys.
Numbers.
Yeah, it's not many.
That's a heck of a feat, my friend. That's a heck of a feat.
Pretty awesome. I mean, I had no idea. I assumed there was a lot more than that until I was actually announced, and I did some of the radio shows in Madison, and they said, yeah, you're only the 3rd Hall of Famer from Wisconsin of all time. And that kind of blew me away. And obviously with J.J. Watt recently retiring, he'll be a first ballot guy. Russell Wilson getting towards the end of his career. I think he's got a great case for the Hall of Fame. So I think we're going to double those numbers pretty soon, but still, it was definitely a pinch me moment. And I've had a lot of those since I've been officially named to be in this Hall of Fame class.
That is amazing. Apparently, Crazy Legs is in and Amici's not, I'm being told.
Oh, so I had it reversed.
Yeah.
No, you could be right. I knew it was one of those great running backs from like the 40s and 50s. Yeah. So it was Crazy Legs in, Amici not. Okay, great.
That was 1,000 years ago anyway. Nobody's paying attention to the 1940s.
Don't remember watching them play on my color television.
The final score was 8-7 every week.
We're only a couple months away. Is the speech written?
So we've got the first draft done. Now it's just all about workshopping because like you guys remember when you're writing a paper for school, the hardest is just putting it on paper, getting it down, and then workshopping it and kind of tweaking things that's the easy part. The good news is the Hall of Fame does a good job of kind of limiting the length so guys aren't droning on and on. So you don't need to come up with 20 minutes of thrilling, epic content. You only need 5 or 7 minutes, which that's no problem.
Joe, here's the most important question. Everything's on the line. You're going to lose every dollar you own unless you play one more football game. That's pretty harsh. I'm sorry. But
ouch.
You have to play one more football game. What position do you play? Could you play another position at this point? What would you do?
I could play punter. I think I could manage a few boots down the field and kind of jog there, and hopefully nobody runs after me.
How about tight ends? Do you have decent hands? We don't know.
Tight end. I've got no hands. I could still block a little bit, and I feel like there's enough medicine that could get me out there for a game. But I do not know how I was going to feel for the next 2 weeks after that.
Right.
Now here's a question. I ask every lineman this, or I ask a lot of players who play, different sports. What's something that you kind of hurt or happened during your playing career? What part of your body still hurts when you get up? You only can pick one.
It depends on the day. Recently, the weird thing is it's been my right hip. I did the NFL draft pre-show on Thursday and Friday, and then I flew to Salt Lake City, and I sat for 9 hours in a stool. So it was like, you guys know when you do those pre-game shows and stuff, you're basically sitting in a stool for the whole time. So sitting in a stool, not good for the hips, not good for the back. So 3 days in a row of that, and then I had to get home for my daughter's track meet because I'm coaching her 4th grade track team on Sunday. So I had to take like the most outrageous red-eye flights ever from Salt Lake City. It was Salt Lake City to Portland to Minneapolis to Madison. So it was like 4 planes, and I slept like an hour in the airport, and I got back and I had a back spasm. I couldn't stand up straight. I looked like the letter C. And so recently it's been the hip that's really not been feeling so great on me, and it's kind of lingered. And I know I've had some arthritis in there from being, when you're a left tackle, you bend your right hip a lot more, and so you're in a little bit of a deeper bend, and I think you get more grinding there. And I'm hoping it goes away soon because I don't want to have to go back under the knife to get that thing fixed.
Yeah. Joe, how would you grade yourself as a track coach? Like, are you upper echelon? Are you just learning? Like, where are you in the rankings right now?
Yeah. Well, I'm A+ if we would have had any meets thus far. However, as you guys know, in the Midwest, our weather can be a little bit unpredictable in the spring. So they've had 3 meets scheduled, and all 3 of them have been canceled due to weather. So this Thursday will hopefully be our first opportunity to get out on the track, and it'll be our last because it's the only one scheduled before the state meet. So if any of my shot put discus people qualify, then I'll feel a lot better about my A+ grade.
What is your daughter doing? Like, what is her sport there?
Yeah, so she loves all sports just like mom and dad. She's probably #1 basketball because she's really tall and she's athletic and she runs well. But she's loved track, and it's great. She doesn't do the throws with me. I'm the shot and disc coach, so I help out with some of the other kids. But I get to be around the team, and I think that's fun. And that's kind of like that line you try to walk with your kids. When you are coaching them, you don't want to be dad coaching. You just want to be a coach. And so it's actually been good that I'm not actually coaching her events, but I can still kind of be part of it. And it's just fun watching those kids get out and have the same joy that you had when you were a kid. So you kind of reliving that through their eyes.
I want to hear more about the sculptor. What on earth are you doing for 8 hours? If you're using pictures to sculpt this thing, or are you like sitting there and posing for him?
No, he's actually like staring at you and posing, and you're posing for him. It is a little bit interesting. I mean, the nice thing is you don't have to sit there still. You can get up and move around, but I think he said that it's a lot easier to do it from a live person than it is doing it off of pictures, even for whatever reason. When you're there in 3D and you're moving around and he's seeing how you move your face. I think that's the big thing. Like when you do different facial expressions, they want to see how the other parts of your body move. I mean, I haven't done any portrait sculpting lately, but if I was to, I feel very well prepared after sitting with Ben Hammond for 9 hours.
You're not like in a toga or anything, are you?
No, but it was interesting. The last person he did. I don't know if I can share this, but he did Calvin Johnson, and we all know Megatron is like yoked, like Mr. Model, and he said, "Hey, I asked Calvin it was okay if I did like a nude sculpting of him, and hopefully that wasn't taken the wrong way." I think we all understand that it's not like a freaky thing, but like he has like, you know, the Adonis body.
It was exactly a freaky thing. What are you talking about?
Certainly have loved to have sculpted, you know, back in the Greek times.
Do they have just one sculptor do everyone, or is there a couple of them?
There's actually 3. So there's 2 main guys. The guy that's doing mine, Ben Hammond, and then there's another guy in Salt Lake City, and then those 2 guys do most of the current and players that are alive. And then there's a sculptor in Texas that does a couple people. He's kind of part-time, and he does more of the deceased players.
Okay.
So that's kind of how they split it up. But these two guys that do most of the sculptings, the guy that is doing mine, Ben, and then the other sculptor are like world-renowned, some of the best portrait sculptors in the world. And you can see, I mean, you see other sculptures that come out of players. It doesn't always look like them. You know, remember the was the Ronaldo one that was kind of looked like some type of weird alien. But these guys that have done the Hall of Fame bust, they nail it every single time, which is no small feat.
Hey, Joe, here's a question. We were having a debate earlier about the dog pound here in Cleveland. What are your thoughts? What do you remember about the dog pound?
So what I remember about the dog pound is just that loyal, passionate fan base in the end zone. They always had cool signs. They always were like the first ones there, the last ones to leave. But I don't think it was ever as rowdy when I was there as the stories were about what the dog pound used to be in the, you know, the municipal stadium days in the 80s and 90s, man. Maybe you guys have some fun memories that you'd love to share with me, because I love hearing those old stories about like the guys bringing in the doghouse that had the keg inside, and, you know, 4 guys brought it in, 1 guy brought it out, that type of stuff.
I'm sure you've heard about batteries being thrown at John Elway, right?
Yeah. I think they used to allow them to be a lot lot rowdy in the days before
encouraged
cameras.
it. Oh, yeah.
That was the Get Live crew.
Now you get in trouble for that stuff.
They supplied the batteries.
I think the rowdiest it's ever been is Bottlegate, I think. That was
famous.
Crazy.
Let's go to Mikey McNuggets. He has a question for Joe. Go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, Joe, you obviously played forever in the NFL, and that has to be like the highest of highs as far as adrenaline and excitement. Now that you're doing so much media stuff, how much do you enjoy doing the media side of things compared to playing? Is there anything in media and doing all your podcast videos that you actually enjoy more than you did playing, if that made any sense?
Well, after I'm done with you guys, I'm going to stand up, walk to my coffee maker, pour myself a coffee. My knees are going to feel great. There's going to be no swelling in them. I'm not going to go run for the ice bags. There will be no ice baths. So, like, that's what I enjoy the most about the media. I think you can feel like you're involved with the game of football, but then you walk away and you feel great. I think I really enjoy doing it because it gives me a reason to study the way I did when I was a player and to follow everybody in the NFL. And, you know, you get some of the same rush doing live TV as you did when you were a player, but obviously the pressure is different. You know, if I screw up on live TV, my boss might say something or people might laugh at me on Twitter, but if I screwed up with my job, like that quarterback's dead. Like my running back's just getting carried off in a stretcher. Like the pressure's a little bit higher when you're playing.
Let's be honest, Joe. Half your quarterbacks were dead before you didn't even block.
Right. That's true. So they weren't really alive in the first place. Let's be honest. It may have made their performance better if I would have let him get hit a few times.
You know, Joe, how does it feel like having like? There have been quarterbacks. You know, I think Johnny Manziel is one of them, and other quarterbacks have come back out and said, you know. We didn't win as much as we could have. And, you know, I felt like I had an obligation to win for guys like Joe Thomas. What is that like? How does that feel for guys to say, man, like we didn't get it done, but mention you specifically as a person who they thought, you know, could have got more? Like I should have did more for guys like him.
You would think that it would be like, oh, great, I'm glad they have that much respect for me. But then I think back and I'm like, well, wouldn't it have been great if you had that much respect for me when you had impact and you could have tried harder and like studied a little bit more? Like, hey, that would have been great. Like, it'd be like your aunt being like, oh, you know what? I should have given you a better birthday present 5 years ago, but oh well.
Yeah, you done
I
wasted
love you,
my-
but
anyways.
it's too late. Yeah.
We love you. Should have done a better job. Sorry.
Joe, let me ask you one.
Thanks.
You talk about studying the game, and let's talk about Jedrick Wills, because we talked about his fifth-year option the other day, and obviously the Browns picked it up. It's a big year for him. He's had a lot of injuries the last couple of years. His play has been up and down. I brought up the point the other day. I think you may have even brought it up for the first time here that, for him, there's the extra pressure of we're used to seeing you play left tackle. You set such a high bar that it was impossible. Jedrick Wills was never going to be Joe Thomas. But we have that. That's the one position for the Browns that we have such a high standard that he can't possibly live up to. Not everybody can be Joe Thomas. Almost nobody can be. So he's got to be the best version of himself. What are you expecting from him this year?
Well, I've been expecting consistent greatness from him for a while now because I've seen it in stretches, in practice, in games. He's had very nice stretches, and then it's that inconsistency. I think it's that lack of consistent focus that has really hurt his career more than anything, because there's been really good stretches of play, but especially in the era of social media, all it takes is you screwing up 3 or 4 times or looking lost on the field 3 or 4 times in a game, and people put it together in a cut up. And then that becomes the narrative of how you've been playing or even your career, fair or unfair. And so I think for him, I really hope that seeing that he's really in a turning point in his career, knowing that, hey, they just picked up my 5th-year option, but they kind of pushed it down and delayed it a little while before they did it to kind of send a little bit of a message. And he's got to know that if he plays well this year and he shows that he can have that consistent focus, that we hope that he can, because he's got the talent, he's got the technique, he's got everything you need. Just put it together for long stretches of play. You could be one of the highest paid offensive linemen in the NFL. But if you don't, you may be doing this somewhere else next year or the following year. So I expect that this is going to be his breakout season because I think that can be really motivating for guys when they realize that, oh, wow, I don't have 4 or 5 years left on my contract. This is it. It's make or break time now. This is how I'm going to be remembered going into free agency, whether it be here or somewhere else. And then all of a sudden they figure it out and it all clicks. And he's not that far off. Like I said, it's just having that consistent focus, understanding that every play is really important. Like I mentioned earlier, the dudes behind you, they're counting on you, and you can't have one play off.
Really quickly, have you got a chance to watch DeJuan Jones? I'm interested to see what your thoughts are on the kid from Ohio State. Massive.
Actually, 2 offensive linemen from Ohio State.
Yeah, 2, right? Yeah. Massive guy out there. What have you initially saw from him and your thoughts on him from your expert opinion?
Well, I was really excited when we got him. To be able to get a guy that's 370, 6'8", 6'9", that can move like a basketball player like he moves, those guys are hard to find. They're not your everyday offensive linemen. I can think of a couple guys in the history of the game that have looked like that. Jonathan Ogden being one of them. Mekhi Becton, a top 5 pick from a few years ago, who's battled some injuries. But I think, especially where they got him in the draft, talk about high reward potential with a low risk, because you're looking at those stats right now, 41 games. So he's got some experience. Now he's a little bit rough technically, but that's what Bill Callahan is for, because when you watch him run, when you watch him move laterally, vertically, he's got all the skills that you need. It's just a mound of clay right now, and it'll be up to those coaches to be able to kind of form that into a great offensive lineman, a great offensive tackle. And if he's got the desire, I believe that he can be a great offensive lineman, because he's got that skill set, and he can move, he can get off the ball, which to me, the biggest question mark I always have with big guys like that at offensive tackle is, can you get off the ball on your pass set in your first kick quickly? Because that's where those guys get beat. You see Myles Garrett blowing past those guys on their first kick, and then they're out of balance and they're trying to catch up. And if you're playing catch up in your pass set, you'll never get there, and you'll always be at a disadvantage, and that defensive lineman is going to do whatever he wants to you in that case. So a man that's as quick as he is can get his body, his 370 pounds, from 0 to 60 essentially as fast as a Maserati. He's got what it takes. Like that is the biggest question, and he's got that. Now, can he refine his technique? Can he be consistent? Those are the question marks that I have, but it'll be fun to watch.
Joe, we know he would probably make a good sumo wrestler. So my question for you is, of every teammate you ever played with, offensive lineman and defensive lineman, I'll leave you out of it so you don't have to put yourself. Every one of your teammates were putting together in their primes a sumo wrestling tournament. Who are you laying your money on?
I like that. So Sean Rogers, first of all, would be undefeated. There's no way that anybody would be able to beat him in a sumo contest because he had a clause in his contract to get under 360 when he played with me, and he was not usually under 360. He was like 375, but he was as nimble as a point guard. He could dunk a 16-pound shot put. He was, a 32, 33-inch vertical at that weight. And when he was ready to go and when he wanted to turn it on, he was literally unblockable. I mean, he made Alex Mack look like an undrafted free agent when they were going against each other. And he made Alex Mack look like he was 220 pounds. And Alex was 320. Just the way he would throw him around because Sean was just so big and so powerful. So he'd be my first choice. Ted Washington would be my second choice. He was over 400 pounds. Didn't move quite as well as Sean Rogers. But you can go back and see old film of him. He was incredible, and he had the body of a sumo wrestler. No offense, Ted Washington, if you're listening back home, wherever you are right now. So those would be my first two picks.
Okay.
And then I would say Alex Mack. He was a big-time heavyweight wrestler at in California growing up. So he would probably be that next tier of guys.
That's a good top three. All right, let's go to Mikey McNuggets. We got an award to give out, right,
We
Mikey?
do. Joe, as you heard as we came into this interview, we're giving out our
Mike
first
Polk
year
is here.
of the History of the Show awards, and we are now joined by the one and only Mike Polk Jr. to hand out our next award. Joe, we want you to be on this for the award ceremony. Polk, take it away.
Gentlemen. Good to see you, Mr. Thomas. Always good to see you. I'm excited to be here.
Well.
Congratulations, everyone, on a year of success here at UCSS. Couldn't be more thrilled for everyone. Joe, congrats on your thing, too. Nice job. Okay. I am here to present the award for the best interview of the year. Pretty big deal. I mean, we're talking about some high rollers we've had on here over time. Bernie Kosar. You had the female Browns fan lady. That was good. You had, as I recall, Smoking Joe Charbonneau was on. That went well. So we have a lot to pick from. So this is a hot category, and somebody who's on right now might be mentioned in it. We'll find out. Okay, let's see. The best interview of the award. Was it? There's no drum roll. We don't have that in the budget.
No,
Maybe
no
next
drum
year.
roll.
Okay. Was it A, Joe Thomas ranks his favorite cheeses? Let's take a look.
That was a great segment.
Ooh.
Now you're known as Skinny Joe Thomas, okay?
It's absurd.
That's kind of what we call you. The Bull says
annoyed.
that he doesn't like Skinny Joe Thomas. He likes heavier, stockier Joe Thomas. What do you make of that?
Joe, that was the one thing I could say. Like, you're this great athlete, you're a great guy. It's like, at least he's not that you were fat, but you were just big. I'm like, hey, at least I'm like Joe. We're both 300 pounds. Now you're skinny as a rail. I don't even have that. I mean, come on. I got nothing.
I'm so sorry. I hope that I'm never going to go back to Fat Joe. My knees are much heavier, skinnier. Not skinny, but not as Fat Joe.
That was a great segment.
It was a good segment, and I do like that you come. Adam just said, "I've come to terms with the fact that Joe
I'm
is
happy.
skinny now."
I'm happy for Joe
He's
and his
happy for
family
him.
that he's in.
That's
that
good.
he's Skinny Joe.
All right, B. Let's find out who's our next one. It's B. Brian Hartline considers changing his recruiting hashtags. Take a look.
How about just hashtag D's?
I get it.
Oh my God!
What are you doing here?
That's great.
He's laughing. That means it's working. All right, two more, Coach.
Inappropriate.
Let's take the next one, Steve. How about hashtag Buck Naked?
How come we don't do these hashtags anymore? This was great.
That was well done. That was a good one, too.
I love that one of Mikey's nominees for Best Interview is just him talking for 45 seconds. Guy, Hartline didn't get a word in.
Fans nominations.
Oh, right, yeah.
Allegedly.
Sure, the fans. Okay, and then finally, C, Maurice Claret's Life's Trials and Tribulations.
Oh, yeah.
That interview is 90 minutes, so we cannot pick a 20-second clip.
Okay.
Right. Okay.
And the winner?
Are we going to find out the winner? Do I know the winner? I don't say it. You say it, right, Mikey?
You have the winner.
Do I?
If not, I will announce it, but
Yeah,
you
go
have
ahead.
the winner.
And the winner is. Go ahead. Say it. Mikey, say it.
It is Joe Thomas.
It's Joe
It would have been quite awkward had it not been Joe.
I figured that was the case.
Yeah.
Ryan Hartline, congratulations.
How much more awkward would it have been if I would have been wrong and then we would have given the award and then rescinded it like it was Twilight?
And
What
what
is Joe getting for winning this? Is he getting a great gift or something?
Cheese.
Yes, we're going to get
Give me
him
some cheeses.
Some
some
cheese.
more shirts, and when we get the sweatshirts, the quote, little YouTube show sweatshirts, we'll send one up to Wisconsin for Joe.
Joe, thanks so much, as always, for joining us. We really appreciate
Congrats,
it.
Joe.
You're the best.
Congrats.
Thank you, Joe.
Oh, it's always a pleasure. Always the highlight of my week.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me on.
I don't believe that, but we love you to send it anyway.
UW is
Thank
proud,
you, Joe.
baby.
Joe is the best.
That's why he's the best.
He is.
Yeah, and he won 2
unbelievable.
huge awards in 1 year. I mean, that's big for this guy.
All right, the Hall of Fame's one thing, but as you
He's
said.
being honored for 2 different really important things. So, yeah, congratulations to you, Joe.
Mike, your thoughts while you're here? First of all, great outfit.
Appreciate it.
Your thoughts on the 1-year anniversary of the show?
I just can't believe that it's been this long, and I can't believe that you guys keep on crushing it, and I can't believe how it keeps growing, and it's fun to watch. So congratulations, gents. And I'm sorry, but I've got to go. I apologize. I'm really busy right now. sorry.
See you, Mike.
Hold on, baby. Hold on, baby. Hold on, baby. Hold on,
Don't
baby.
get stuck.
Hold on, baby.
What's happening? Mike's still attached.
And he's down.
Mike is he's rolling on the ground.
It looks like he just got tased.
It did.
All right. What are we doing now? We going to Matt Colling, or are we going to?
We're going to do a read real quick. We have a
Okay.
new Matt Colleague read.
Oh, good.
The lunch hour of the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show is no longer sponsored by Colleague Racing. It is sponsored by Colleague Companies Championship. See your favorite golf legends playing the Colleague Companies Championship July 12th through July 16th at the famous Firestone Country Club. It is fun, family-friendly events all week long, featuring a new fan zone experience, free attendance for kids, and concerts every night. There is something for everyone. Learn more at colleaguegolf.com. Before we bring Matt on, before we bring Jay on, we're going to wait for Matt to get here as he gets hooked up. There's Kimmy walking in. So, Steve, let's play a package. Let's play the Best Take of the Year award presented by our friend, Curtis Danberg.
Oh, nice. Curtis Danberg here from the Cleveland Guardians, and I'm giving away the Best Take of the Year award. The nominees are, number 1, G. Bush predicting the exact amount of Cleveland Guardians wins in 2022. 92 to be exact. Of course, my personal favorite. Number 2, bold reassuring Browns fans on why it's okay to be excited of them acquiring Deshaun Watson.
Even if you want to say Deshaun Watson's a bad guy, but don't apologize for being excited for him being on the team. And yeah, you're a hypocrite like we all are. Oh, because we were ripping Roethlisberger and ripping the Steelers. And just admit you're a hypocrite, but admit something else. All these other fan bases around the country for these teams that have scrub quarterbacks like Carolina or all these other teams that were trying to get Deshaun Watson, their fans are going to pretend they dodged a bullet. They're going to say, oh, he's a bad guy. I wouldn't want him on my team. They're all full of crap. They'd all want him on their team.
And number 3, G. Bush goes viral for a sobering rant on Damar Hamlin.
He's 24 years old, right? He got a contract for $160,000. That's his bonus. And he earns $825,000 this year. You say, G. Bush, why are you talking about this man's money? Because guess what? He's been in the league 2 years. That means he's not vested. That means if he never plays another down in his life, he don't get another check for the NFL. Let's be clear about this. You got to play 3 to 4 years before you even sniff a pension. So all this heartwarming and prayers and condolences don't do nothing for that boy's mom that got to go home, look at her son, and he might need extensive care for the rest of his life. And you know what the NFL will tell you? Well, we'll look out for the people like him. No, you won't.
Drum roll, please. The winner is G. Bush goes viral for his Damar Hamlin rant. Congratulations on your first-year anniversary, Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show. We appreciate the support and look forward to seeing you here at the ballpark soon. Go Guards!
What else is new? Thank
job,
you, Curtis. We appreciate that.
And good job to G.
Congratulations, G. Bush, on going viral. That was the award
Speech.
winner.
Well, thank you so much. I want to thank the Academy. I want to thank my mom. And I want to thank Paxton the Panda.
And Matt Colling.
And
for
Matt
being a
Collins.
sponsor of the show.
Before we completely transition to Matt, we got DeMar's cleared.
And
he will play football again.
And he put $10 million up to his foundation.
Did you see he was on vacation with the Bengals wide receivers? Did you see that?
How cool is that?
Yeah.
Really cool.
Yes.
$10 million?
Yes.
To his foundation.
That's incredible. Well, the GoFundMe. Well, he had a small foundation where he was
just blew
to
up.
buy toys for underprivileged kids. And the second he was hit on
nobody
the
had ever
field,
heard of him before.
Nobody even knew this was a GoFundMe or a thing. And then all of a sudden, it just blew up.
Yeah.
And there were millions of dollars coming into that thing. It shows how much Americans care about football and how much they were worried about his well-being.
And they're still good in this world, damn it.
Yes. Well, don't let anybody else tell you any differently.
They're still
I'm
good
sitting
in this
next
world.
to like a shining example of good in this world.
This man has so many companies, he just reached in the hat and picked another one to put the
Yeah,
sponsor.
right. Let's talk about this. Can we get to this?
Let's go to this one now.
Yeah, listen.
Yesterday,
tell us about that.
Yesterday, he writes a huge check, just because you're not going to talk about it, I will. 2 underprivileged mothers. We do it every year.
Yeah, for Mother's Day.
Channel 3, The Guardians, and Call It Giving. We picked 2 mothers through Providence House, which, by the way, if you don't know what Providence House is, Google it. And if you're looking to volunteer for an organization, they would love to have your help. It's an unbelievable organization, the work they do for the families, homeless children, mothers of homeless children. And Matt writes a nice check so they can go on this incredible shopping spree. I went yesterday with the 2 moms. They're like, I don't know what to do with all this money.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
They've never had an opportunity. They've always said, they both said, when we go to the store, we buy things that we need for survival. This allows me to buy things that we want.
Well, and it was Shane Bieber that came up. I mean, that's his.
Shane Bieber helped. You wrote a check.
Yeah. We did it last year, and now WKYC's gotten involved. And
one of the 10,000 things that Call It Giving does
That's
on
awesome.
a regular basis.
Yeah.
And most of it, we don't even, it's not publicized. Matt doesn't talk about it. Sometimes I twist his arm and say, Matt, we got to get word out this. Because the story, the feature is Power of Inspiration, and the whole idea is we want to empower others that are watching these pieces to see how good it feels to do something for other people, and it's worked. It really
well, that's
has.
the whole thing with our colleague companies and colleague giving and our charitable contributions is that we teach other people how to give.
Yes.
Everybody wants to give, you just don't know how. It's like, hey, do you want to give to charity? How do I get involved? Last year, so there's a day of giving, I think sometime in November. It's like the International Day of Giving, like they have international everything. But we have all of our employees give $1,000. So I give $1,000 to all of our employees that they give to their organization.
Of their choice.
Yeah, of their choice. Yeah. And you would be shocked of how many people don't even know how to do that. They're like, all right, they're asking for what a 501c3 is. We have to have our 501c3 number in order to give money to them. We need their number. And so it's really cool. That's been the coolest part of colleague giving is to be able to teach other people how to give.
And we've talked about this before. What the really cool thing is that's the spark. The fire becomes when all of those employees get that warm glow from giving. Now they're giving not just Matt's money, but they're giving their own money. And they're giving to other causes and that's the power of inspiration.
Yeah.
And it spreads like wildfire. And you don't have to be wealthy. You don't have to write a check. I was talking to the woman from the Providence House yesterday, and I asked her, what's the number one question you're asked? And she said, people always think that when I come up to them and tell them what we're doing, that they're going to ask, I'm going to eventually ask them to write a check.
Yeah.
I'm not. This is when I knew she was so committed. She said, here's what I'm asking everybody to do. And everybody can do this because it's easy and it's free. When you see a family in despair, a mother that has kids sleeping in the back seat of their car, she's in a despair situation where she's been abused, tell them about Providence House because they knock down all the barriers. One of the mothers we met 9 months ago was the victim of a horrible domestic attack, and she had 4 children, all homeless, didn't know where to go, found the Providence House. She's going to graduate from nursing school very shortly, at the end of this month.
That's beautiful.
She is ready to embark on a career in the medicine field. Her kids now are completely, they've adjusted to this new life. And that's all a testament to Providence House. That's one of 650 stories in Cuyahoga County alone last year.
Yeah.
So if you see somebody that could use a helping hand, tell them about Providence House. And you're helping. You're doing it. And Matt's been a big runway for a lot of other people to get involved. Enough about that. How's the race team?
Dude, the race team's awesome. I mean, we go fast every week.
Did your guy get in a fight this weekend? I saw there was a fist fight at the NASCAR race.
Did not get in a fight.
Damn, I was hoping it was your
But
guy.
I'm all for that. Like, right? Don't you want your guys? Sometimes you say, all right, if we're not going to win,
yeah, throw a blow.
$10,000 for every punch landed.
So you get on TV, your sponsors.
It is good. It is good. How do you decide what sports you get involved with?
I like all sports, actually. I don't think there's a decision. It's just like when opportunities, arise. Just like the Guardians, last year, a couple of years ago. I mean, that opportunity just, arose. They needed to sell, part of the team, and we were just happened to be part of a group, and we were just, they said, "Do you guys want to be involved?" And so we did. I had the opportunity to actually be involved in the the whole thing that's going on with the Washington Commanders.
Mm-hmm. Oh, wow.
They asked, do you want to be involved? And
no,
so
you want to own the Browns.
Yeah.
Why'd you pass on it?
Well, one, it's a lot of money. I mean, it's a lot of money. Those guys are selling that thing for like $6 billion.
Yeah, what for 6 point something billion?
When a rich guy says it's a lot of money.
Yeah, you have money, but I mean, come on.
But the real reason you didn't buy it.
And it's over there. I mean, it's in Washington.
Yeah, right.
There's a whole difference.
You can't own the Commanders and the Browns.
Yeah, and wouldn't want to, and yeah.
Jay, you didn't ask him the right question. You didn't ask him. The question is.
Oh, he's been dying to ask you this.
First of all, question is. First of all, I got two. Do you literally find you could get fired for wrecking the car, the racing car?
You can get fired. Yeah, you could get fired.
If you, I thought that was part of the game.
Well, but the game is to keep the car clean.
Yeah,
it's not supposed to.
I could go driving and wreck it.
Yeah, like
you gotta keep them clean. Yeah, you got to. It costs a lot of money. So
how much for one weekend? How much does it cost to prepare one car?
Well, I'll tell you. A couple weeks ago at Talladega, we lost 4 of our 5 cars.
All right, go ahead, talk that.
Oh my God.
Right. So you lose 4 or 5. We're talking several $100,000.
Oh my God.
No, it's a car. It's
per car.
Yeah.
Per car.
Yeah. No, not several $100,000 per car. Yeah, total.
Wow.
I don't know how much.
That hurts your heart.
I don't know how much it is. I mean, you're talking $50,000 to $100,000.
Cup
Cup cars are different than Xfinity cars.
Right.
So the Cup cars are way more expensive than the Xfinity cars. So we lost a Cup car and
3 Xfinities.
And 3 Xfinity cars.
That's a price
So that's a tough day.
So the second part of the question is this: you talk about why did you choose to get in this, that, and the third? See, what you guys don't know, he was really one of the first people to stand behind the show. When sometimes when you don't have that stamp in the industry, people look at you and say, well, if that guy ain't doing it, well, why should we?
Yeah.
And he was one of the first people to say, I'll stand by what this thing is over here.
Yeah.
What made you do that?
Because I love you guys. You guys asked me to do it, and there's a sports show in Cleveland that you guys are getting behind, and so just wanted to be involved. I love all sport, and you asked me a question before. What sports how do I choose what I get involved in? And again, it's the opportunity. I love the Cavs. For the first time this year, had floor seats at the Cavs game. Went to most of the Cavs games.
Yeah.
That's a great seat, isn't it?
Love it. Love the Cavs. So obviously behind the Guardians, love the Browns. So just all the Northeast Ohio sports team, and now. And I know we're going to talk about it, but the Call It Company Championship and PGA, so at Firestone, when the opportunity came up to get involved in golf and really try to put our muscle behind, the PGA and a great PGA golf event here in Northeast Ohio. Right?
You guys are huge sports fans.
Yeah.
Can we use them as a think tank for a second for an idea that I threw out yesterday? Because they're trying to grow the tournament over at Firestone.
Yep.
So here was my idea, talking to some of your folks yesterday.
I can't wait to hear
We got to get this, and they'll give you their honest thoughts about whether or not this would work, and then maybe we take it to the guy that writes the check, and maybe this can happen, maybe not.
Yeah.
But when I think of golf, big events, must see. I used to think the majors. I don't anymore.
Right.
It's Waste Management in Phoenix.
Yes.
Why? Because they took a concept of stadium golf and they built an entire group of stands, stands around one of the greens. And it's stadium style golf. So instead of you walk the course, and there's still people walking the other 17 holes.
Yeah.
But if you have one hole that's the epicenter of fun, as I like to call it, When someone hits a hole-in-one there, it's very rare. But when it happens, my favorite thing in the world is everybody holding a beer throws it onto the green. You were there this year, weren't you?
Yeah, well, I was there
last year.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think it would be cool to pick a hole.
But I'm not going to throw my beer.
No, we can't have
I
beer
wanna
throwing.
drink my beer.
By the way, this is the older golfers. This is the Champions Tour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I still think it would be really cool if you picked a marquee hole, preferably a par 3 so you can see all the action from your seat. Stadium build out the course so you can fit 5,000 fans. I don't even know what Waste Management has. I'm not sure.
Yes, dude.
But make it an event. Make it so people see that on TV. And it won't happen after year 1. It didn't at Waste Management. But make it so it's a thing. Oh, God, I got to get tickets to the Champions Tour, and I got to be on the stadium green.
Yes.
I've got to be there. And I think that's the way you make an event. Yes? No?
That was
wrong.
Yeah, you need something to stand out.
I like
Sure,
that.
I agree.
Yeah.
Can we get a windmill on there? Hit it in the
On the
cloud's
putting
mouth?
green. On the putting green.
No, it's all in play.
Yeah.
Do you think that, Jay?
I don't mind it. I want to hear more, but yeah, I think
You're
that
the
could
biggest
work.
golf guy of the three of us.
Oh, he's the biggest golfer.
Well, of the three of
you
us.
guys, the bigger,
Yeah.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
a pretty low bar you're setting there.
Yeah, you guys aren't huge golfers. I am. And I used to, like, when I first saw
No, but isn't it, so even what you're saying is like with the Waste Management, I don't think it's something you can just create. Like everybody,
We
when
just
you
talked
create
about
like
organic.
that,
We just talked about
like
that.
the Masters.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, that
every
happened
golf
over
tournament-
150 years
Well, that's
or
what I'm
whatever.
saying.
You
Yeah.
know, what you're trying to do here is put this event on the map and get people in Northeast Ohio to go.
That's right.
And I think that history has proven that the tournament itself, although it's a draw, you're not going to break attendance figures records with it because it's just another stop on the tour. The Champions Tour doesn't have anything like that I'm aware of.
Yep.
The PGA stop has the Waste Management. I have buddies that fly to Phoenix every year for that event.
Just for that.
Because it is an event. It's the golf is the backdrop. But if you look at what's happening in professional sports, not so much football, because in the NFL, football is still the game. But the NBA wisely started this about 15 or 20 years ago where they made a game feel like you were at a club.
Oh, yeah.
You've got a DJ, you've got pounding music, all of that. Baseball, when you talk about the Guardians renovations, most of what they're doing is adding more places to drink beer.
Yes, it's entertaining.
It's almost like the baseball's become the backdrop, and at the Waste Management Open in Phoenix, the golf is sort of the backdrop, and the party is the atmosphere.
And that's what you do. That's what we're doing over at the Guardians Stadium. If you go to a Guardians game, do you guys go to the Guardians game?
Absolutely, yes.
I mean, I'm going tonight. It's actually my nephew's 21st birthday.
Wow.
So we're gonna have so him and his
that's gonna be a party.
it'll
Yes,
be
sir.
fun. But if you
I mean, I took
He'll
my
have his
son.
first beer, right?
yeah, I'm sure.
I took my son to Vegas for his 21st. But if you wanna
we're
do
going to the
Guardians.
Guardians game. We're going to Cleveland, baby. But anyway, what we're talking about is like the fact that that there's a game going on, but it's like half of the
social
fans.
event.
If you look at the stand, half the fans are in line getting beers and pizza and everything else, and it's a social event.
Yeah,
And
it
with the
is.
pitch clock, there's less time.
But that's what we're doing with the College Companies Championship at Firestone is that we're creating an event. I mean, we've got the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is way involved.
Good.
I mean, we're trying to get Northeast Ohio. I mean, think about all we have to offer here in Northeast Ohio. Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. We've got the NFL. The
What are
Pro
the dates
Football Hall
for
of
it?
Fame. It's July 12th through the 16th.
Okay, so it will be
So mid-July.
the induction ceremony.
Yeah.
Joe
Exciting
Thomas
time.
is going to be. Joe Thomas was on the show right before you came.
Okay.
Yeah.
He was kind of your warm-up act, right, guys?
Yeah.
Wasn't he?
That's
yeah.
good.
Yeah. But yeah, maybe you get a Hall of Famer, some football guys out, or some Hall of Famers, maybe Joe even. I don't know.
Yeah.
Jay, we got a big announcement to make.
We
right?
do.
I was told you and Matt have a big announcement. Or
No, you.
Yeah.
He didn't
What-
want to come
what I
without
brought you?
gifts.
So I think last time I was on the show, I brought donuts.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which we love.
I missed that.
And but I heard it's your 1 year anniversary, and I want to bring something cool. So we brought a couple of, in the spirit of NASCAR, I brought a couple of Goodyear tires, and
come.
we made them into end tables.
Oh, that is awesome.
Oh, that's crazy.
Dude,
These
look
are
at that.
absolute
That
fun.
is awesome.
That is
Colleague Racing. Dude, how cool is that?
that is
That's
crazy.
awesome.
Yeah.
So,
Like,
Those
yo,
are cool.
brought 2 of these for you guys.
That is awesome.
Super
Thank you
proud
so
of what
much.
you guys are doing. Love the show.
I'll be happy. I'll be honored to pour coffee all over that.
That's awesome.
First one to pour coffee on him owes Matt $1,000. Hey,
and
Can
you
we
know
throw them on our car if our tires go
I
flat?
probably shouldn't say how much racing tires are, but like,
no,
they're about $700 a piece.
And
so
Kimmy told me yesterday that like to get permission to do this was not easy.
Yeah,
you got to go through Goodyear, and you got to make sure that they don't want their product just promoting any schlep show.
That's right.
So I'm sure they watched every episode of the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show, and about halfway through it, they said, "We've seen enough. This show is worthy of the
Give
Goodyear
them the
logo."
tires.
I love
Give
it.
them the tires.
Thank God they didn't see Bull Puke. If they saw Bull Puke, we never would have got the
we
tires.
didn't show them Bull Puking show.
Hey, don't show them the tape.
Hey, Matt,
It's coming up later.
So congrats, you guys.
Thank you very
on
much.
behalf of all of us and the behind the scenes staff, we couldn't be more appreciative of what you do and how you've made this show go. And we're thrilled that we'll have a couple of pieces of Colleague Racing memorabilia on the set every day. Thank you for supporting us and believing in us.
Thank you.
And all you do for Northeast Ohio, not just the sports ties, but the stuff that most people don't even know about and hear about. You're all about helping people and helping others, and we thank you for that. We're lucky to have you. Our
Thank you so much,
Good.
man. We really appreciate it.
The great Matt Colleague. And we love these. These
are awesome.
end
This
tables.
is the best thing we have.
They really are.
These are awesome. We got 2 awards to give out as we get Matt out of here. Matt, thank you as always for coming in. We're going to move these to the side. But this is Anthony with the worst loss of the year and Tyvis with the best overtime one of the year.
Nice. Okay.
What's up, everybody? It's Anthony from UCSS. Today we're doing the worst loss of the year nominations. Up first, we have the Cavs going out in Game 3 against the Knicks, only scoring 70 points. Number 2, we have the Jets pulling off the improbable comeback in the home opener against the Browns. And number 3, we have the Guardians' offense completely disappearing in Game 5 of the ALDS against the New York Yankees. And our winner, without a doubt, is the improbable comeback from the New York Jets. So Mikey McNuggets, let's move on so we don't have to remember this.
Hello, everybody. My name is Tyvis Powell, and it is my honor and pleasure to present this year's Best Overtime Segment Award. The nominees are yours truly, imitating Earl's auntie, when she had the basketball. Never mind. You had to be there. I'm not even going to go into details because it's bad.
My aunt has older aunt has one of the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show shirts.
Which I love. Your aunt wore to Thanksgiving dinner.
I'm proud of my baby. He's doing something with his life. But I can't help but to
love
notice.
your grandma already, or your auntie already, without even knowing her.
Jay's face is like all in her titty, man. So
my old face is all over.
It's all over Auntie's.
She's just making the mac and cheese, and she's just.
And you're looking at it going, this is really creeping me out right now. Old Jay on my aunt's chest. That ain't even cool, man. That ain't even cool.
2, Director Steve, fuzzy animal comments that he made, which was some of the wildest things I've ever heard.
Well, it is true that I work for Sports Channel Ohio, but it's completely false that I was Slider. I've never been inside a furry animal. No, let's do it. No.
Yes.
No. Delete. No, that's no.
And 3, Jason absolutely ripping Giannis for his failures.
I love Giannis. It is a failure, dude. You're a 1 seed. You're Giannis Antetokounmpo. We got Tyvis on the show trying to tell us that you're the best to ever play. And you go out in the first round to an 8 seed. It's a failure. I don't care about last year. I don't care whatever question you got hung up on last year. It is a failure that you are a 1 seed and you're an MVP and you can't beat the friggin' Heat in the first round at home and you go out like that. It's a failure.
And the winner is... Jason ripping Giannis. First of all, Jason, it was you need to give Giannis a little bit of privilege or some slack there. It wasn't all bad. Was the season of failure? Absolutely, but he had some good points in there. But the award goes to you, man. Congratulations, Jason, for what you did. I thought mine was better with Earl, but that's neither here nor there. I feel like I got robbed, to be honest with you. Shout out to us for having the 1 year show, man. 1 year down and a lifetime to go with you guys, man. Coming in every Wednesday or any day that I can has been a true blessing. I love y'all, man. Let's keep going. Let's take this thing to the top.
Nice.
I just love that Tyvis had to give out an award about Giannis choking.
Yeah,
that made that.
That is funny.
You're welcome.
Best.
You're welcome.
Yeah, that
Good
wasn't an accident.
By the way, these awesome tires that Matt gave us, these end table tires, they light up red. We plugged it in.
Bro.
We're gonna set them up here. After
We
today.
will get it
Yeah,
set
they're
up.
beautiful.
Them is crazy.
They're
That is
absolutely
really
beautiful.
cool.
Yeah.
So where it says Colleague Racing lights up red when we plug it in. So
Yeah.
it's
They will
really
be
cool.
with us. Hopefully, starting tomorrow, we will incorporate them into the set.
That was a super nice gift.
Matt is the best. His
Yeah.
whole team's awesome. Kimmy, the PR team, his video guys that come with them. That whole organization is run top notch. And you can see your favorite golf legends play in the Call It Companies Championship, July 12th through the 16th at the famous Firestone Country Club. It is fun, family-friendly events all week long, featuring a new fan zone experience, free attendance for kids, and concerts every night. There is something for everyone, I promise. You can learn more at colleaguegolf.com.
You said July 12th through the 16th? Is that what
July
you said?
12th through the 16th.
Nice. Good.
Correct.
Good. All right, Mike. Well, now we got to get to the top five. You know, top five was something earlier days of the show we were doing every day. In recent months, we don't do it as consistently, but often it's been a very funny segment. In fact, it was referenced in our awards with Joe Thomas winning the award for Best Guest, that segment we did Top 5 Cheeses. And now you have a top five that you haven't even told us really about.
No, it's been a pleasure to work with you guys for a year. And when you start a relationship, a work relationship, you got to learn your boundaries. So these are things that after a year of working with you, I finally have the courage to say to you guys. These are things I've wanted to say for a year, and now I'm going to say on air.
Okay.
Sure you want to go there?
I'm ready.
Love it.
Number 5, when I say next topic, please shut the F up.
No, Mike, no.
Wait, you said that to us already.
Yeah, like.
How is that like something new?
Well, hopefully this means you'll listen.
Okay.
No, we won't.
Number 4, during ad reads, please shut the F up.
Yes. Call out the biggest culprit to that.
Somehow I hope all 5 include shut the F up.
Yes.
Number 3, Bull, I love you, buddy. But please sometimes shut the F up.
I see a trend forming here.
Yeah, I think they're all going to have that in it.
Oh, man, Mike. I thought we had something special, you and me.
2, Jay, I love you too, man.
Wait a minute. Why am I not number 1?
I can't believe that's number 1.
I can't believe it's not number 1 either. That's a swing and a miss. This one better be really good.
Number 1, and it's true, I love you guys. It's been awesome. I really do. Like people,
That's a good
and
one.
Earl and Anthony, and you guys are all included. Director Steve, EP Steve, everyone, Brad, who's not here. It has been an absolute honor and pleasure work with you guys over the last. It's been a year now. For the last year, it's been awesome. You guys drive me crazy sometimes, literally batshit crazy sometimes.
Yeah.
I do. At the end of the day, I genuinely love you guys, and generally love you guys as Bulls.
Yeah.
But,
Genuinely
All right,
generally.
I got to take 10 seconds, though, Mikey, because this show would not happen without him. And Jay has said that before. He said it after shows and us with meetings. Mike holds this whole thing together, man, and the hours that he puts in and the rundowns he comes up with and the way that he keeps this moving and the way that he's got 4 hands back there. Mike is the MVP of the show, people.
Yeah, and as
he
we
just
mentioned
doesn't get
before,
enough.
he's nominated for an Emmy. Or did he win? He's nominated for an Emmy. I don't know why anybody else would win. Mike does an incredible job.
He's new to Cleveland,
Mike?
but he's
What
going to be
category
a
is
star.
Best live sports producer.
Who else
that's
is
gotta
nominated?
win. Is
The
it?
guy from Bally's.
Yeah.
So
What are they doing?
Well, they do a lot. They do pregame and postgame. They do a lot over there.
What are they doing that's good?
No,
I don't know.
Well, that's another question. Mikey should win. I always look at every team, organization, unit that I've worked on as a body.
Mm-hmm.
And Mikey's the vertebrae. He's the spine. He's like, without that, the whole thing can't stand up. It falls to the ground. And Mike, that's what you are.
And he knows how to deal with us
secrets here.
all individually because we're all very different.
He's got it
and
all.
You got to deal with everybody differently.
Yeah.
You know?
The first time, when Mike called me, he called me from like driving from like Dallas. And he's like, yeah, man, you want to meet me? So we go to this little local watering hole. Like, we having beers. And then I get in, and, you be thinking like, okay, I got these ideas. So I see him and I say, oh, he's an idea guy. So I got some ideas. Yeah. And then about 15 minutes through the conversation, I just realized, oh, nah, it's cool. He got all the ideas, right? He was rattling stuff off, and I was like, oh, this guy, he gonna be all right. We gonna be cool. And when you usually get the rundowns, there's been, I can't think of a time where you get a rundown and be like, what the hell is this? This ain't gonna work.
Right. Very rarely.
Even the topics that you think might not be it.
Yeah.
It morphs into a good show. So he's
no doubt.
I think
he's
his
one of the young
best
goats.
features is his, and this is what a good producer has to do. He has the ability to adapt on the fly. So he builds a structure and a rundown and gives everything a time every day. The most frustrating shows to do are the shows where something organically happened and it's really good, better than anybody anticipated. Right. And I did a lot of these in the early days of First Take. We had a producer on the show that produced by the clock instead of by the ear. Mm-hmm. And he would say, guys, we got to go. And we would get the commercial break and all of us would look into the camera and say, what are you doing? Like, listen to did you not hear what was going on? We got to go. Mike will, and we're not chasing commercial breaks here, but we've got to fit everything in.
Yeah.
But Mike will let the show accordion, and let it stretch out if it needs to, and I think that's his best.
And most of the time, even when he's telling us to shut the F up, he still goes with it. 9 times out of 10.
Listen, so.
Yeah. He's always right. When he's telling us that we got to go, we got to go.
I can't be talked to when I'm fired up. When I'm fired up, I cannot be talked to.
Yeah, I know.
So, that's
what?
Yeah.
But no, seriously, I appreciate that.
We love you, Mike.
And by the way, we're giving Mike all the love. Yeah,
also.
Anthony and Earl and Steve, the 4 behind the glass, they all have their own role, and sometimes we make fun because that's what we do.
Well, you make fun of people that you love.
That's it.
That you bust their balls.
Anthony, when he came here, he's like, I don't know what sports. I don't know what the hell is going on here.
Yeah. Steve and Anthony don't.
No, they're not big sports guys.
No, especially Steve.
Earl's a huge sports fan, but they all have their own role. They all know what they're going to do, and it's fun to watch them come in because it's just like these 2 big gears that come together, and they just they move the machine forward.
Yeah.
There are 4 people doing the job of 8.
And it's nice because
easily
when we bust each other's balls, we know everybody can take it, and we bust Anthony's chops all the time.
Because he can't spell.
We've been crushing Earl for his terrible take about Donovan Mitchell versus LeBron.
Right.
That's never going to die. That's never going to die.
We've been
that's
killing
coming
him.
up in a sec, I promise. Leroy, we're going to do Leroy's award next, which is
and he just takes
Oh, good, I didn't miss that one. I was afraid I missed it.
Because he knows it's coming from a good place and it's all fun, and that's what we all do with each other.
We love all those guys. They're
all right, I think Mike wants us to shut the
Go ahead, Mike. What do you got?
No, so we do. Jason, thank you for
It's like you got that charity speech.
Words. This does not work without the other guys behind here, all you guys. I'm telling you, it's the most fun job I've ever had.
It's awesome.
Hands down.
Yes.
And we said a lot of really smart things on the show. We're going to get to we already did best take. We're at the best moment. We still have the Unsung Hero Award coming up. Best argument of the year, best nickname, but this is my personal favorite. You talk about being a good producer. I learned how to do something a couple weeks ago using green screen that came in handy this morning. This is Leroy with his worst take of the year.
Hey Cleveland, this is Leroy. I'm here to announce the winner of the Worst Take of the Year award. And I got to tell you, it's pretty exciting. But unfortunately, Bull's not on this list. But keep going, fella, because you're working your way towards one of these fancy awards. The other person that should be on this list but is not is G. Bush. I'm going to give him a pass for this reason. Everything that's said in the barbershop stays in the barbershop, so he is not involved in this year. The nominees are Earl, for your ridiculous take on Donovan Mitchell having the best season as a Cleveland Cavalier ever.
Well, the question is basically, is Donovan Mitchell having the best single season ever in Cleveland Cavaliers history? Mike says no. I'm leaning towards yes.
Better than any LeBron season?
I said emphatically, as soon as he sent me the text.
No,
I said
absolutely not.
I said outside of LeBron, maybe we could have the conversation, but if you include LeBron,
absolutely not.
There was no
People
chance.
be so scared to include LeBron in these comments, man. Ain't nobody thinking about LeBron.
Donovan Mitchell having a better year than LeBron?
Look, Donovan Mitchell already has 4 single-season Cavalier records.
Jay Crawford, with his ridiculous hot take of Baker Mayfield is back after one good game with the Rams. Not even Carolina. 2 teams later.
Now, I had some people texting me last night that said he found his match.
He's on his final stop.
His match is Sean McVay.
We're going to base that on 2 drives?
No.
Okay.
You know how this is a knee-jerk reaction.
Yeah.
We were basing that Baker was done on the little bit of football we saw him play in Carolina.
Well, I didn't think he was done.
A lot of people
But
did.
we were
You did
basing
not.
Baker on not being good enough to be a starter based on 2 years.
But after watching him last night, I was just reminded that, and now I know he can be Jekyll and Hyde, but it's in there. That dude can do it.
And number 3, Tyvis. You have claimed that Giannis, or whatever you want to call him, is all ready to go. In Cleveland. You calling somebody else to go.
We throw this term GOAT out, and in today's society, they use it very loosely. But when we talk about Giannis Antetokounmpo and what he's done in his career, it's very evident that he is not only the best player, he will always be the best player.
Now there can only be one winner. The winner is Jay Crawford for your ridiculous comments about Baker Mayfield. Get in the corner and think about what you said.
Now, I want to say something. Bull said, well, this is easy. It's got to be Tyvis. And I said, no, wait a minute. It's a fan vote. It's a fan vote.
But I actually, yours was a bad take, but the other 2 are by far worse.
Well, if you look at the scope of it, mine was like 1 game, and it's Baker Mayfield.
Right.
And we're talking about the greatest basketball player of all time. So let's forget about Michael Jordan and let's forget about LeBron James. That one really was
actually,
the
more I
worst
think about it, Earl's take was even worse than Tyvis'. because at least Tyvis, you could make the argument that he said when Giannis is done. So even though I don't agree that it's going to happen.
Didn't he say he's the GOAT now and he's always going to be the GOAT? I think he did.
Right.
And then they got
so he was making the proclamation that not when he's done, he's the GOAT right now.
And then precluding what happened in succession.
With 1 title.
He lost it to the 8th seed, and then his coach got fired. And then he had one of the nicest rants of all time where he had to cuss a guy out and say, listen, you can't win them every year.
Yeah.
Right.
No,
that was a great one.
They're all awful takes.
They were all bad.
We almost could have had 3. We could have had,
I just think Jay's take was a traditional bad that we all make all the time, whereas the other 2 are extreme bad takes.
And if you notice, too, I couched the whole thing by saying I'm hearing from a lot of people last night that were saying, which was true. I was watching it. I was very impressed what he did. I mean, he was in the offense 2 days, and he lit the place on fire.
Boy, you know what's sad?
But the other people were pounding me with these texts. Notable people.
But just to show you how strong the internet is, and I'm undefeated on there, did they forget the 6-0 Kool-Aid?
No, so G. Bush.
That was a horrible. That was worse than Jay's.
Wait. So just
that was
just so
worse
you guys
than mine.
know,
I forgot.
For clarity, and then I'll let Earl hop in here.
How did that not make the cut?
We put 5 nominees on the vote for this one. It was the only one that didn't have 3 nominees. We only announced the 3 highest vote getters.
Okay, but you know what?
Kool-Aid was on there, and Bull, you saying Trae Young is the best offensive player in basketball was also on there.
Well, all those are awful takes.
Wow.
But let me say this.
Wait a second.
Go ahead.
In my defense, I did not say that.
Those words came out of your mouth.
Wait, what I said was I was listening to Brian Scalabrine, and he said it.
Well, that's how I couch mine, too, but I took the bullets. I took the bullets here.
You got to take the darts.
I want to hear that audio. Did I actually say it?
You heard mine. I didn't say. I said, I'm hearing from a lot of people that are saying this guy's not done.
You said it, and then you were like, well, I have to ask.
Let me ask you a question. Who was responsible for the most points in the NBA this year?
Well,
let Earl
Trae
chime
Young.
in. Earl's got
but that doesn't mean that he's the best offensive player in the game.
This is the first time I've seen that video back. Like, the fact that I was so serious and
dead
had
serious.
audacity to double down.
Oh, don't forget the I ain't afraid.
I ain't afraid.
I was like stunned.
You had your head tilted and everything.
LeBron in that.
I love Earl, and I didn't want to come down on him.
G. Bush's point in this segment is the best one that we're all missing.
What's that?
G. Bush could come on here right now and say on the show, look into the camera and talk to his peeps in the chat room
That's
and be
true.
like, this is what we need to do, peeps.
He can say the Browns are going 17-0.
We need to right now reach out to Brett Favre and bring him back. And the chat room will be like, yeah, we do. G. Book, I ain't never thought of that.
No.
You said I sat next to you. 6-0.
6-0.
6-0, fam.
And then
6-0.
the Kool-Aid, and then
Well, first who was the guest that we had?
Quincy Carrier.
He was arguing with me that there was a better than a 50% chance that the Browns would go 6-0.
He said there was a 45% chance, and then G doubled down.
And
it was like
so that's what it was. It was like strength in numbers. You could see the mob building.
And
G was like, yeah.
I was gonna get T-shirts made. I had 6-0 T-shirts, and I had to ship them to the Asian countries.
Well, they started out 0-1.
Yeah,
so there's a whole bunch of little Asian kids running around with 6-0
brown shirts.
and Cleveland Indians 2016 World Series champions.
There was one take that was too late to be in this.
97, 95.
But I asked Brad yesterday who his game was modeled after, or like who his comp was, and he said Kevin Durant.
No, he said KD mixed with somebody. He said,
wait a second.
Mixed with Kevin Garnett.
Wait a second.
You know what I have to say that?
Wait a second. What happened? I somehow missed.
This was yesterday.
What did he say?
I was like, Brad, like, what's your modern day
He said, what's your
NBA comp? And he's like, I'm a mix of KD and KG. Brad said that, yeah.
Oh wow.
He would have to change his name to him, and that is the super him. KG and KD.
Damn, Brad.
That means you're the
Brad went full Tyvis mode.
Like that means you as a defensive anchor. You could guard 5 positions.
Kevin Garnett.
And Garnett Durant is one of the greatest players of all time.
God in heaven.
All right, so with that,
he's Garant.
3 of them.
He's the 2 of them married. Kevin
One
Garant.
takes a little.
All right, guys, we got to get to this. Next award. What's our next award?
This is and I know we lose some people in the last 20 minutes because I got to get back to work. So we're gonna do the best moment in show history with the Quell Jackson. DQ, take it away.
Oh, I forgot about
What's up, guys? DQ here presenting the Best Moment of the Year award for the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show. The
Hey,
nominees
did you see my Brad
are
impersonation? You weren't here. I did
Super Joe Breaks a Vase,
Holy shit, that's Super Joe on that rhino.
So my buddies go, my 60. Yeah. Oh, shit, what'd I break?
Hey, listen, Joe, listen, don't worry about it.
Studio fault.
Joe, don't worry about it. You know why?
What'd I break?
We just added to your list of stories. It's all replaceable, brother.
or Bernie Kosar walks on set of the very first show.
Suddenly they were told, sorry, that deal's
Bernie?
off. So
Yeah,
Bernie's in the
Bernie's
building. Bernie's in the building.
in the building.
Come on in, handsome.
Come on in.
Come on in and have a seat. We're on the air. That's okay. Look at skinny Bernie. Come on, bro. Right here.
Right here. You got the good seat.
Skinny Bernie.
Live
He's
on
got the hair
TV.
growing in the back.
Bernie,
Look at him.
The mic is right there.
Yeah, throw it on your jacket.
There you go.
Hey,
Bernie
Bernie.
Kosar.
Bernie, welcome to Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show.
And last but not least, Bull pukes on set. On set.
And it worked out nicely for the Browns that actually the Steelers won the game.
That had to kill you, didn't it? Here comes the barf bag.
Here it comes.
So, Bull, yesterday, I meant to ask you this Friday. I meant to ask you this Friday. I'm so
Get
mad.
off that. He don't like
really
Baker
do
at
that,
all.
Yeah,
he
get off of that.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah. He hurt. He hurt.
I think we're talking about a man who puts too much into football.
Hey,
He cares too much about this.
Listen,
it's a game.
No. Listen, this is how he felt about Baker. This is what happens. That was a parable fast. You know what I'm saying?
This is a first. I've never seen this.
And the winner is Bull puking on set. Of course, this was going to win. There's nothing that happened this year that I remember more than Bull puking on set and using that little garbage can. And I believe it was Brad sitting next to him. Everyone else thought it was funny except for Brad, but it's just a real, I can't unsee. Man, it was such great moments, but that one moment just stands out the most to me. It's just a reel that I can't unsee. Again, shout out to you guys. Miss you guys. I'll be in Cleveland soon, and hopefully we can grab some bourbon that Big Nuggets owes me. But either way, Have fun, guys. I hope to see you guys soon.
Great to see DeQuell.
Man, good seeing, man. It's like,
oh my God,
it's like a family reunion. I ain't seen some of these people in a while, man. It's crazy, man.
And we still got 3 more. Don't worry.
Bull, thank you. Seriously,
Oh,
thank you.
my
I've never, 37 years, I've never
seen that.
never even came close to seeing that.
It was so funny because obviously that morning was the day after the first game.
Yeah.
Yep.
I felt like absolute trash. If it had been just a random day, I would have just taken off.
Bill called me and was like, I can't come in. I feel terrible in the morning.
And
I
then he
was
rallied.
So
So
he was
sick.
like, I'm coming in. I cannot miss this.
I was like, this is the day. They just beat Baker. It was a crazy game. I cannot miss it. I drove. I got here last second, and
he was like, I gotta take a break.
All of a sudden, in the middle of
just hit
that
him.
sentence, I was like, oh boy, I'm going to throw up. In my head, I'm saying, oh man, I'm gonna throw up.
It was coming.
You know what was great was you barely were able to reach the trash can.
Imagine the scene if you
hadn't-
couldn't reach the.
I mean, this table would have been covered with it.
Oh, bro.
With Bull's breakfast. Now, let me ask you a question in all honesty. 'Cause this is just my. I thought. I was watching the end of the game, and I also was watching the post-game show.
Yeah.
And I, in real time, said, I'm worried about Bull. I'm worried about Bull because we had joked that your biggest nightmare was going to be
Baker
the Browns
come back
lose
win.
to Baker in the opening game.
It's crazy.
Especially if it happened like that.
And
come
look,
from behind win.
guys, it was a fait accompli.
Oh, it was
I mean,
dead.
it was.
It should have
as
happened.
much as we should have won the Jets game,
Yeah, you
we
should have
should
lost
have
that game.
lost that game.
Yes.
Yep.
And for a minute, you were resolved. You
Oh,
were
my God,
to the
yeah.
fact that, oh God, I got to go to work tomorrow and talk about this ass clown beating us. And I was worried about you. I said, man, Bull's going to stroke out right here.
Oh,
Because
my
you were
God.
screaming and the veins were coming
I
out in your
know.
neck. And then when he made it, it was like I've never seen a swing of emotions in all my years of watching sports. I've never seen someone feel like they were in the depths of despair.
Yes.
And then go from that to within a minute, we just won the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
That's what, and I thought his body's going to revolt.
Who knew that would be the high of the season?
That's crazy.
It was.
It really was.
Wasn't it?
It was all pretty much all downhill from there.
You know, you're right. It probably was the high of the
Sad
season.
but true.
So,
But, yeah.
do you
that
guys
was-
want the percentage breakdown of that vote?
It had to be 90%.
100.
It could have been.
Like I said, over 800 votes in this. 723 for Bull Pukes on set.
There you go.
Yeah.
17
Yeah,
for
that's
Super
90%.
Bays and 81 for
90% exactly.
Yeah, it's absurd. All right, so we got 3 more awards. We're
Yeah.
gonna run through these quick, and in the
Okay.
last 10 minutes, we're just gonna reminisce, talk about some dream guests for year 2. But this is Tim Couch with the best argument of the year.
What's up, guys? Tim Couch here, and I'm presenting the Argument of the Year Award. The nominees are Jay versus Bull on analytics, Jason versus Brad on Carmelo Anthony, and Jay versus Bull on Patrick Mahomes versus Jalen Hurts in the Super Bowl. And the winner is Jay versus Bull on analytics.
We have never said, oh, they're using him too much.
Since Stefanski has been here, I think it's been overblown that he hasn't used Nick Chubb enough.
That's not true.
It's my opinion.
I agree with you.
That's not true.
But there are certain times where it's a fair argument.
A lot of great fights this year. Definitely the top one.
You didn't get the best clip from that.
We didn't mark it down.
He wanted to punch me in the face at one point.
It was Steve Becker as my witness. I scrubbed through like 17 old shows.
And you couldn't find the one? The one. Yeah, because there was one where I know Bull wanted to punch me in the face.
There was only,
well, I mean, not really, but
there
you
was
wanted
only
me dead.
There was
There
was only one time they came in one show. They said, "I think we crossed the line a little bit." I don't know what it was.
Yeah.
There's like, I shouldn't have said that.
but-
It was
Was it the kicker debate? Because that was
can't
pretty hot
remember now.
too.
that was hot.
No, it was an analytics, and you were arguing one version of analytics. Bull was saying but it was in a random I don't remember what week it was.
Yeah.
Nick Chubb
There was
didn't get
only
enough carries
in
15
the
times.
year we've done this show.
Pretty hard to find it.
Usually when I get into an argument, I'm heated in the moment and then I'm fine after. There was only one time that the anger lingered the entire year. I don't remember what it was.
That was probably it.
But then we
was it
hashed
the show
out.
when we were all screaming at each other?
Might have been.
It was
No, that one
No.
wasn't the main one because no one could get a word in there.
That was the worst show we did.
That was
the
we were all
worst show
yelling
we
the
did.
whole 2 hours.
What were we arguing about?
Probably
Day after
Baker.
a game. It was-
Probably Baker.
I said something right before we went live And then we said, we're going to take it to the show.
You said something about, would you redo the Watson trade? Would you still go up?
Oh, yeah.
Five people in that day, and it just turned into.
It was
nuts.
crazy.
Whatever. Anyway,
But
it
you
was
and
fun.
Brad
though.
had a good one once.
Once. They got one every day.
One that I really remember, where he went to the old-fashioned, how many teams did you play for or something? And I'm like, Dad, I never liked that.
Everybody's going to get pissed off every once in a while, but most of the arguments we have are over when they're over.
Yeah, they are. I've held no grudges.
Yes.
I've been mad in the moment, but
We got 2 more awards we're going to fly through. Next is Aditi with the nickname of the year. Oh.
Hey everyone, it's your long-lost friend Aditi Kinkabwala, and I have the distinct pleasure of announcing the nickname of the year. Okay, let's get to the nominees. A, Petty La Bull, which was bestowed by G upon Bull after one of Bull's many rants. B, McNuggets for our fearless producer, Mikey McNuggets. And C, Duke of Knee Jerk, which was another one of G's brainchilds. Can we say that? Brainchilds, after G flipped one of his opinions, which he does on a regular basis. Okay, so our winner, Petty La Bull, McNuggets, or Duke of Knee Jerk? It is McNuggets. Because who else would we pick but McNuggets?
McNuggets? Ask him how he got the nickname.
For a guy like Mikey McNuggets.
So Mikey McNuggets, already done. Come be a Buckeye.
That's good.
Yeah, that's probably appropriate.
I mean, all 3 are great.
Yeah. Right.
But that's the one that we use all the time.
Yeah.
It is. Yeah. It is. But when you become petty,
right,
we whip out Petty the Bull,
which I love.
And when you start, 6-0,
he calls himself
the Duke of Knee Jerk.
Hey, listen, it's all a thing. See, I'm Teflon at this point. I mean, I say bad takes all the time. So now you can't call me out for the bad take, right?
Yeah, they don't.
we can.
And you are Teflon because your bad takes never stick.
Yeah, you're right. They don't. They wipe
6-0, fam.
Wipe down. It just never happened, Jay.
And that wasn't even that. How many votes did that get?
Which one?
The 6-0 worst take.
Oh, hold on.
Not a lot.
And if I get one thing wrong, I will hear about it for 6.5 years. I'm not kidding. If I get one thing wrong, I hear about it for 6.5 years.
You know why?
You can say 6-0, nobody gives a damn.
It's because you're never wrong. So when you are, it's a monumental deal.
Hey, remember my totals for how many yards the Browns will have? Remember David and Njoku who was on that Twitter?
I said, man, the Browns are going to score 65 points a game. How many touchdowns did Njoku? Oh, I got Njoku for 15.
He had everybody over.
Everybody had like double-digit touchdowns. I'm like, wow, this offense is going to be electric.
I need a Deshaun 4,800, 44 touchdowns this year,
we
bro.
got 2 more or 1 more?
One more award.
Last
and
award.
This one,
yeah.
There was no wrong answer. Let me just say there was no wrong answer.
Okay.
It was our Unsung Hero Award presented by Jen.
I feel like we need like sappy music for this.
Hey guys, it's Jennifer Matthews, all the way out here in Los Angeles, and I am joining you all today to present the award for the Unsung Hero of the Year. Your nominees are A, Anthony and Earl, B, Director Steve, and C, EP Steve. And the answer is A, Anthony and Earl. Congratulations, guys, and thank you for all of your amazing hard work that makes this show run so smoothly and be so amazing. And congratulations to the entire Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show team on a very successful year 1. It is such a joy to be a part of it and to talk and celebrate and sometimes commiserate all things Cleveland sports. Looking forward to what's in the future, and I hope you all have a wonderful day.
Oh, this is a really awkward moment to tell everybody I'm quitting.
I've moved on to greener pastures for a 1K.
He's dreamt about that moment.
Right.
By the way,
see how much they miss my spelling now.
What locks them up as the winners, and it was the best choice, is that they were clumped in together instead of being separate.
Yeah, so it was 2
that
versus
makes them
1.
unsung.
Yeah, now
because
if it
they
was,
didn't even get their own.
It should have been the Steves versus Earl Anthony.
Yeah, right.
Professional bowler. Yeah. And then you got I don't know, that could have been, but it was an unfair fight. 2 against 1.
But they both deserve it.
It was very close, by the way.
Yeah,
I bet.
Very close across the board.
I bet. It's because they're all unsung heroes. You know, they're off camera. They do their thing. They make it easy for us. But
I love that picture of Anthony every time I see it.
Did you guys see the one of EP Steve?
Yeah, where'd we get that?
Show
That
that
was
again.
like lifted from a show.
Picture on Google that exists of director. Or
Really?
EP Steve.
You
If wanna
really
fast forward
scrub
that.
Google like that, Steve?
Yo, there was one that actually had his head cut off. It was like a LinkedIn picture, you know, that cuts off. So I didn't want to use him with no head. So
Pause.
I told him. I hate you, G.
Well, great. Hey, guys. So for the folks out there who don't know this, I barely know it because I've only been working at TV for a year. But I know enough to know that putting together all these awards is a lot of work.
Painstaking.
It is a ton of work. It's a bunch of couple-of-minute videos, and it seems like, well, what's the big deal if you don't? But if you know, you know, and we know that these guys did a lot of work to get that
Because
together.
how
Looking
many,
for clips.
So kudos to all of them for doing that.
Just to give them a volume, how many actual videos do you guys have on YouTube?
Anthony says we have 700 pages worth of content.
And an average of how many per
In 1
page?
year.
Like a
That's
dozen?
crazy.
30 on a page.
That's
30 on a page?
2,100.
2,100 videos?
That's insane.
That sounds crazy. I don't know if that's right.
That's
no 700 times 30 is.
It's like 21,000.
21,000.
Yeah, you put an extra zero on there.
2,100.
1900.
19,000 videos?
No, 100.
100.
Oh, sorry.
Damn, we did a lot of work
700
this
times
Well,
3
700
is
times
2,100.
3 would
Yeah.
be 2,100.
Yeah.
So to put it in
Anthony's
perspective,
not known for his math.
We have a
Or
shit
his
ton of
spelling.
videos. That's what we have.
it's 365 days in a year. If you did one video a year, that's
A day.
A day, like that's crazy. They did 1,900, and they put multiple ones up every time. So like,
that's
man,
crazy.
that's a great job out of you guys, man.
Verge of our 7 million views.
7 million views, man.
Thank you to all of you over this year that got us to almost 7 million.
We need to
views on all
give
of
a prize to
Yeah,
the
yeah,
7
yeah.
millionth viewer.
Exactly. Guys, anybody got some final thoughts for today?
I do want to ask you guys all.
Yeah, we're gonna do a guest 2 wish
I
list.
do want to get
A year 2
dream
rather.
guest for year 2.
I mean,
You have our guest booker sitting right to your guys' left or directly. Dream guest.
I want to go first because I think this is a possibility that it happens. Albert Bell.
We took mine.
And all eyes turn to you.
Are you trying to get Albert Bell on with us?
I texted you guys and told you he was going to come on.
I somehow missed that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now here's the caveat. Jason is in the process now of putting the piece together.
Yeah.
And Albert is interested in what this is like. He's already reached
Yeah.
out to Jace. I hope I'm not speaking out of turn
No.
here. And
I texted with him yesterday.
so if he loves the piece, I bet he comes on. If he wants to kill you, you won't be the first person, but he probably won't come on.
Probably not. So it's all on my shoulders.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's awesome. Well, that would be magnificent.
It would be incredible. It would be incredible.
He's got a lot to say, and he does not care. Like
Yeah.
he'll say
I
anything.
I mean, those are the best guests.
Then they don't give
He
an
has
F?
an axe, and he doesn't have a filter.
Yes.
And that equals good television.
Yes.
So
I love it, man. After my own
So I
heart.
stole yours? I'm sorry.
Yeah, well, I mean, dream guest. Let's get LeBron on, but I don't think that's happening.
Well, I mean,
Jason,
all
that's
eyes
you
turn
again.
to you
He's your
again.
buddy.
Well, he's not my buddy.
I'm exaggerating.
Could you get Bronny James on?
No, no, probably not.
Harden could.
If you went to Ohio State, maybe.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a shot to my heart.
Oh,
Joe
What
could
did you
get
say,
him.
Varden
He
could?
said
Yeah,
Varden
like-
could. Joe could get him, and you can't.
I'm gonna beat his ears up. I still want Isaiah Thomas, but I thought, hey, is there any way we could get Barack Obama on?
Shoot for the stars.
Doubt it.
What you mean you doubt it?
I mean,
Well,
He ain't doing nothing.
He's a Chicago sports fan.
yeah.
So you like the Cubs, so
He's not a Cubs fan. He's a White Sox fan.
well, let's get it popping.
Southsider.
Hey, we could get him to come and talk about how terrible the White Sox is. Like,
they are. Why
can
they
we
are.
get Obama on?
I mean, that'd be
I'm
great,
just
but-
saying, like, I think we have a much better chance getting Albert Bell than like Brock's gonna be like, what's it called?
Like for real? Like,
Yeah.
can we get that?
No.
on? No.
I would like,
Right?
and I texted you guys about this yesterday because they're coming to town in 4 weeks. I want, unfortunately, even if they come on, they won't be able to come in studio because they're going to be in Columbus on a Friday and then here on a Saturday. But the guys from the show, Impractical Jokers,
Oh, I
are
love
doing
that show.
a show on stage here in Cleveland in June. And I love that show, and I feel like I would
not
be
as
a great
good now,
replacement
though.
for Joe. Well, because Joe's not on the show.
Joe
It's
was
not as good without Joe.
I realize now that Joe was the
it's
straw
still
that
funny,
made it
but it's
happen.
not as funny.
It's not as good.
And I guess we shouldn't say that if we want to have them on. But
Yeah, you're right.
But
We've been
I'd
torching
like to replace
sponsors all
Joe.
year, so.
I mean, come on, let's go. Get me on there. Go ahead.
So
Mike.
Bull's got an ulterior motive.
Yes.
Hey, I've got your replacement for
It's not
Joe.
happening because I'm sure every 8 seconds they have people telling them they want to be the replacement.
You're right.
Go ahead.
We got 2 super chats to read to end the show here. Whenever we bring you internet comments, it's brought to us by PCC Airfoils. If you're looking for a job with career advancement and great benefits, well, PCC Airfoils is a leading manufacturer in Northeast Ohio. All locations of PCC Airfoils in Eastlake, Menor, Wycliffe, and Minerva are hiring for all positions starting at $18 and up, plus full benefit packages, paid time off, and a signing bonus. You can apply online at precast.com/careers to learn more. We have 3 here. I don't know who the first one is from. I don't see a name, but he or she said, my birthday is today. Happy birthday to whoever you are. I'm from East Cleveland, but I live in Phoenix, Arizona, and watch you guys every day. That came in when we were talking about all our viewers.
Well, happy
outside of
birthday.
Ohio.
Happy birthday, Phoenix.
I don't have a name, unfortunately. When it was copied, I don't have a name. Bob Byler sent a $20 super chat and says, Jay's shoes are crack.
Cool.
That
Good or
means-
bad? I don't exactly know.
That could be either one.
That's good.
It can be either one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Matt Collig actually said, "Where'd you get those? I need that pair."
Yeah.
That's a good thing now? That's a new
It
term?
can
I
be.
don't know.
You should have showed them. You should have sold them to them. There you go, bro.
Hey, for $2 million, they're yours. They're yours.
Halim also sent us a super chat. He said, I hate reading stuff about myself. Thank you, Halim. All the hosts are great. Mike's the reason the show is different, better than the rest. It's all these guys. It's not just me, I promise you. It is a team effort here to make UCSS what it is, but I appreciate it, Halim, and we appreciate your super chats. We
Signed
did it, guys.
Halim McNuggets.
Yes.
Signed Uncle Halim.
Yeah. We love you, Aunt Halim. Keep watching.
Halim Youssef.
And by the way,
super chat us a lot.
yeah, he does a lot in Cleveland sports, so he'll be around. He can call in the radio station too. So, so we made it.
We did it.
We did
1
it.
year.
All right,
Wow.
we'll see you for the 2nd anniversary. By the way, our overtime
No,
segment.
you can't do a 2nd anniversary show. It's got to be 5.
Yeah, 5.
Yeah,
You don't do a second?
No, you do a first.
just acknowledge
and you do
it,
a
but we
fifth.
don't
Oh,
do
of course,
Do
we'll
for the
acknowledge
second.
it.
This is a promise. We have a bonk list going on, which is all the out of context horny stuff that you guys said that you may not even realize is horny in the moment. On the 2-year anniversary, we release the Black Book.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
I like that. Overtime.
I can think of some already.
Our overtime show today is going to be open for everybody to see, correct?
That is the goal. I have to hit and make sure it doesn't ruin everything when I hit the button, but it should be open to the public today.
So,
yes.
folks, obviously we have our coaches tier, $4.99 a month. We all want you to be a part of it. And a lot of people have joined since we first did it. We do an overtime segment every day, an extra 8, 10, 12 minutes of content every day for just people in the coaches tier. So to give you a little taste of it, on the anniversary, today's overtime segment will be available to all our viewers so you can see what the others are paying for. So I guess
Yeah, and what's crazy is a lot of these people are going to find out today that all the overtimes Bull actually does in the nude.
I do.
So nobody knew that, but now everybody's going to be able to figure that out.
I do in the nude, and I do a little white man over by dancing.
Yeah, and then all of our subscribers say, you owe me $4.99 a month.
And if you super chat him, he'll keep his suspenders on.
Ooh.
We do have one more super
Maybe
chat.
my
Just
socks,
came in.
too.
This is from Marjan
Quickly.
Jamie. He says, have local comedians or entertainers who come to Cleveland visit the show when they're in town.
We've done that.
We've had a couple.
Yeah.
We try a lot of
We
times.
try. Some of them
A lot of
sometimes
times they
don't
come in absolute last minute, but
Yeah.
it's a great idea. Absolute great idea.
We are always thinking about those type of guests and all good guests. Thank you to all of you. We'll see you at all.
Peace, peace. Love you guys. 1 year down, many, many to go.